Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me add someone up. Let's see now. Okay, so I'll start and what's it doing? Let's see. Oh, there we go. I see it. Okay, look, perfect. Leave that one. Go to this one. There we go. All right. All right. Saying him. Okay, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Brother Tim. Let's see. He had just called me. All right. All right. So we in there. Okay. Okay. Appreciate everybody coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through. Yeah, so this was something that I was just being challenged on in regards to, and I'll do a Q&A or whatever, it doesn't matter. And we'll do the continuation. Um, send the stream, I'll just send it. Just click the link I sent you. No, it's not. It's the one I just sent. If you click on it, it'll show you. You didn't even try it. Somebody's old link. You didn't even try it. Good Lord. Right. So, and like I said, it's crazy. In 2025, people are still running around here ruled by their emotions and controlled by fear. That if they don't do something that they don't understand and they don't do it right, that they're gonna die and go to hell. Now, how much sense does that make? Like logically, how much sense does that make? If I don't do something correct that I don't even know I need to do, you know, um, why would I be um, why would I be punished, right? Why would I be punished for whatever reason, right? Let me see. Tim, did Tim jump on? Yeah. So that's the concept. And I think the problem really stems from when people they don't understand that the Torah and the or Tanakh. I don't even like saying Torah because we think the first 5 books is the Torah, but where Torah just means instructions, and there's instructions all through the so-called Old Testament. But the Torah is the foundation. Antonio says he is on his Y. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a Y is. Chris Harris said hell doesn't exist in the Hebrew Tanakh. And it's particularly in the concept that they're trying to say, right? It doesn't exist. The word Sheol, but that English word, oh, gotcha. Okay, I got you. You talking about 10. Gotcha, brother. You're talking about 10. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So they don't understand that they do it work backwards. They look at the movie from the end and watch it. They think it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, right? Take these beats off. They think it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. They think that you're supposed to read the book backwards and then go back to the beginning. No, no, no. Anything at the beginning, everything else is laid on top of that. So if you want to build a New Testament doctrine, it has to so-called be laid on top of the Old Testament, right? And you can't lay it on top of the Old Testament because it doesn't agree with the Old Testament. So you don't side with the new baby, right? You don't side with the baby that's not. Everything from Matthew to Revelation happened within a 90-year time frame. If you're, I'm not even arguing the point that it's not even real. You guys know that, but I know it's not real. But I'm saying if you look at it from Matthew to Revelation, all of that is a 90-year time frame. And we know this because in the book of Matthew, John, the apostle, the disciple, is in Matthew, and the last book of the Bible, Revelation, is from John. So that all happened within his lifetime because dead men don't write books. Meanwhile, when you go back to Moshe, talking about things that predate Moshe, all the way down to the book of Malachi, or Malachi, the last book of the so-called Old Testament, you look at that and then you get a good beat and you see that from there to there, there's thousands of years versus 90 years. And somehow people think something that happened in 90 years and reading something new like demons and all this other stuff and hell doctrines and casting demons out, and they come back with 7 more demons more powerful than the first, and all that is supposed to trump the thousands of years of history, culture, tradition, more ways, byways, and norms of the Hebrew people. You have to be basically in all common sense, you have to be retarded. Dre Israel said they would have shown the creation of the Christian hill in the 7-day creation story. Listen, Dre, that is a very, 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 very valid point. That is a very valid point. Everything is shown. The heavens, the earth, the seas, the waters, even wisdom, the non-tangible things like wisdom. In the beginning, let there be light. The first 9 chapters of Proverbs is about what? Wisdom. That's the light. You're illuminated when you have wisdom and understanding. Yet we don't see a hell there. So the Most High is doing all it's creating. There's no hell. Even though he knows all this supposed stuff is going to happen and that they're going to have to go to hell, he doesn't make it then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then he starts over the next week and says, okay, somewhere, I guess on Wednesday or Thursday, he makes a hell. With no scripture to support that. King Nara said, hell is simply used as a control mechanism to scare people into submission. All major religions use it, a very strong marketing scheme. Yes, indeed, brother. That's all it is. And everybody should know that fear is the number one thing that controls man. Fear. Fear is more powerful than love. Fear will make you have a heart attack. Fear will stress you out. Fear will give you anxiety. Fear will make you commit suicide. Fear will make you unalive yourself and your loved ones. Fear will make you unalive someone that doesn't deserve to be unalive. Fear will. And it's crazy how people are ruled by fear. All right. So I know I got a couple people going to be coming in. I know Brother Tim going to come in. And then, of course, Antonio, I know you're going to come in with Tim. You had some questions you want to ask, and that's cool. So I got you, brother. Appreciate you, King Nara, J. Israel, for showing up. I know my boy Delta Roots going to be back in 15 minutes. Zan Hinton, appreciate you. Chris, appreciate you. This whole doctrine of hell and hellfire is just a mythological thing used to scare the masses. And, I just don't understand. So maybe we're going to have somebody come in and help understand. I see Lewis just jumped on stage. So Lewis, you're on stage. What are you what is your thoughts on hell?
Oh, certainly testing, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Stick him in the chat. Certainly, hello.
Yep.
Okay, Lago for Larry Lahi, but most sitting Makali Kona Rise, Kona Hulu, Kushika. My name is Rabbi Lewis. I bet when it's look up, but I'm this messenger. Hello.
Stop doing that. Stop saying hello when you know you just asked
May
everybody.
Allah keep us a part of the Ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So my name is Rabbi Lewis, published author of 50 books with a background in parasitology, investment banking, and Arabic studies. With a pleasure.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, I guess you had something to say about hell, right?
Certainly. I mean, as the opening salvo, ask yourself two questions, right? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a punish. Hell is real, guys. Repent, accept Jesus, your Lord and Savior. You're gonna go burn in hell forever. Okay. So let's dive in. Two things, two questions. You ready?
Yeah.
So there's a place of punishment on earth, but there's no place of punishment in the afterlife. Make that make sense.
Because
Second
you're on earth.
question, huh?
You're on earth.
Hold on. There's a place of punishment on earth called prison for people who are wicked, but there's no punishment in the afterlife for people who are wicked. That's illogical. Second thing, can you hear me? So there's a place. Hello.
You want me to interrupt you?
There's a place of punishment on earth called prison, but there's no place of punishment in the afterlife. That makes no sense, but logical. You ever watched the video of people going to prison? There are people beating on the door, screaming at the top of their lungs, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here!" 1 second. Literally beating on the door, screaming in torment. That's what's happening in hell. Second question. You ready for the second question? Here's the question. You ready?
Well, that wasn't a question of thing yet the first time. Really, you just made a statement. You just
Yeah, I
talked.
was just stating I have a question.
Okay.
Second to the question. Imagine you murder somebody, right, guys? For the panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody listening, right? With me?
Yep.
Mashallah. So imagine you murder somebody. You're in front of the judge and jury. They found the gun. You murder somebody, right? You with me?
Uh-huh.
And you tell the judge and jury, well, I shouldn't be prosecuted. You know why? You can't prosecute me. We all sin. Nobody's perfect. We all fall short of the glory of God. How can I be judged? We all sin. We all fall short of the glory of God. Nobody's perfect. In what court system in America would be exonerated for your crimes because you said no one's perfect and we all sin? They will literally look at like you're crazy. What's wrong with this guy? You just
That's
killed somebody and finish. You just murdered. Can you hear me? You just murdered somebody in cold blood, and you're gonna tell me at a judge and jury, I can't be prosecuted because no one's perfect and we all sin? And what court system would that hold up in America? They're gonna look at you like you got a mental issue. You're going to jail, or you're gonna get the death penalty and go to jail forever. This is irrational. That's why I open the cell.
okay. Um, let me do like y'all like to do. I'm gonna start from the last thing because I wrote them down. I took copious notes so you can't lie, and plus it won't matter because it's on a broadcast. You don't have a problem lying anyway, so it wouldn't even matter. All right, so you just made a statement. You said, and I quote, imagine you murder somebody. They found the gun. You tell the judge and jury, we all sin, we all fall short of the glory. But that's what y'all do. That's what the whole point of Jesus is. Is it not? Is it hold on? Is Jesus not the excuse for your sin? So okay.
Brother,
Oh, no. Listen. Let's just pretend. Now I'm gonna use your same example.
I only get part of the example. Can you finish what I said, please?
I'm gonna use your same example, and I'm gonna use it in how you see this whole narrative, and I'm gonna show you how stupid it sounds. In this narrative, Satan is the lawyer. You are talking to Satan, the lawyer, and you're saying everybody sins because the lawyer, Satan, is the accuser. The word devil, according to y'all, means accuser, right? He's the accuser. So since the accuser is the prosecution getting on you about murdering someone, You, on the flip side, talk to Jesus and say, hey, we all sin. Don't we all sin? And in your narrative and your belief, Jesus frees you from that guilty verdict, doesn't he? Which is punishable by hellfire, aka prison. Doesn't it? Ain't that how it works? Because if it doesn't work that way, then what is he saving you from?
You done?
Yeah, what is he saving you from?
He just moved the goalpost twice. He's deceived by Satan. Answer the question. In what court system in America could you go to a judge and jury guilty of murder and tell them we all sin, no one's perfect, and you're going to get off? Show it to us.
Dude.
In what court system would that hold up in court? Who would exonerate you of your crimes of murder because you told them no one's perfect, everyone sins? In what court would that hold up?
What happened to George Zimmerman? Did he kill Trayvon Martin after on the police recording they told him to stop following a minor youth? He followed him. They told him to stop. He called the police. He continued to follow him. Then he went up on him and he shot and murdered him. Is that not what happened? Did he go to jail? Is he in jail now? No, don't get silent now. I'm asking you, did Trayvon Martin, a kid that was walking to the store to buy some Skittles and Arizona tea, didn't do anything wrong to anyone, was being followed by a man that was a suspect, a white supremacist, followed him home, called the police, and said, there's a kid over here that looks like he doesn't belong. And the police told Zimmerman, do not follow him. Leave him alone. He hung the phone up and pursued him anyway. The kid that did nothing wrong. And then he walks up on the kid. The kid defends himself. He pulls out a gun on a kid that said nothing to him negative, didn't know anything other than he was being followed by a white supremacist. And then when he pulls the gun out, he murders the kid. Where is George Zimmerman right now? He didn't even have to, George Zimmerman didn't even have to say, we all sin. He didn't have to say any of that. He walked away scot-free. I can give you dozens of examples of that happening.
Two things to that.
You can shut your mouth, right? What you're doing is you're trying to compare apples to hippopotamus nutsacks. You're not even comparing one-to-one comparisons. You're asking me about a court system or a judgment system in America that is known for being biased racially. And you're trying to compare that to the righteousness of your Savior. So you're already starting off crazy.
Okay, three things to this. This is heresy. First of all, he's retarded.
Hold on for a second. Let me mute you for a second because I'm gonna show you something. Because I want you to stop using that word heresy, okay? Because you don't know what it means.
Oh my God.
Or you can get off. You can take your ass and get off if you want to. Which one you want to do?
You invited me on. I'm here because you invited me.
No. Which one do you want to do?
Do whatever you want. Then I'm gonna respond.
Okay, so shut your mouth and watch this. This is literally the definition of heresy. Heresy is always in regards to religious doctrine. You just asked me about a court case and a person getting off on murder. That's not heresy because that's not religious doctrine. So now you keep using the word incorrect. So here's the word heresy. I'm going to highlight it. Heresy, noun, an opinion or doctrine at variance with established religious beliefs, especially dissension from or denial of Roman Catholic dogma by a professed believer or baptized church member. So heresy is between Baptists and Catholics. Nothing you just asked, the question, two questions you asked about had nothing to do with Catholicism or even the Baptist members of the church. Okay? So you're using the word heresy incorrect. I told you you were in the beginning. And you're still doing it. And everybody just heard you say, I committed heresy when I didn't quote a single verse. I didn't say nothing about a Catholic. I didn't say nothing about a Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, Episcopalian, Kojic, Roman Catholic, anybody, or Muslim, Messianic Israelite, Egyptologist, whatever. I didn't say nothing about any religion. The thing I just discussed was unfair treatment in the court system. How in the hell could that be heresy? By definition, it can't. So stop using the word heresy. And you're going to do it again because you just learned the word heresy. So you keep using it, but I keep telling you, you're using it incorrectly, okay? So if you're going to, listen, you can use the word, but don't use it incorrectly because you're showing your ignorance to everybody when you do that. Now, what do you have to say?
Okay, that was difficult to listen to, but I did. Okay. So, 3 things to that. The prison system is full of black criminals and white criminals. We agree with that?
No, it's full of criminals. There's no such thing as a black criminal or a white criminal.
Are there criminals that have been prosecuted for their crimes in jail, in prison?
That's the only way you can go to jail.
Okay, that's the point. Second thing was
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman. He cut me off. Okay.
Yeah, back up, because you got to elaborate. You can't just say something stupid and then think you're not going to elaborate. What was your point you just made? What was the point you just made?
There has been thousands. Even look at the
No,
rapper. Can I finish speaking?
No, not another example. Just what's the point you just made? I don't need another example.
I'm giving you the point. You cut me off, brother. Look at the
No,
rapper Cash Out.
talk about a rapper. I don't need. We're not talking about rappers. Just what was
we're talking about the prison system. Cash Out the rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Can I finish speaking, please? Can I make my point?
What was the point? You're not making
I'm getting to the point. Give me 15 seconds to respond to what you said.
All right. Go ahead.
Right. The rapper Cash Out, he caught a RICO charge, and he was offered 25 years in prison. He rejected it and did life. Right?
Okay.
So, do we agree that, first of all, first thing first, 90% of prisoners claim they were not guilty. Go to any prison, be like, I never did it. They're gonna tell you that. Will we agree on that?
That's irrelevant.
Most criminals in jail will tell you they didn't do the crime when they know they did.
It's irrelevant whether they look. If they lie and tell the truth, that's irrelevant.
So here's the last question. So was
no, not a question. You're supposed to be explaining. Remember, not a question.
Yeah. Last statement. You said why did two questions? Well, first,
no, explain what you never explained what you were saying.
Because you tried to paint a picture like because Zimmerman got off for murder, everybody gets off for murder.
No, I didn't. Nobody here in this chat thought I said that. I literally
What's
said.
the point of bringing it up when there's plenty of people who have been prosecuted for murder?
Because I literally said you talk.
And there's plenty white people who've been prosecuted for murder.
You said to me, you said, give me an example using the justice system of a person going before the courts and saying, we all sin, please forgive me. And I did one better. I showed you a white supremacist, and I'm using quotations because he's not white. I showed you a white supremacist that didn't even say that at all and got off. And then I can give you multiple examples of this.
You just moved the goalpost. Let me ask you a question. I show you moved the goalpost.
I didn't move the goalpost.
I'm gonna show you moved the goalpost like a retard. I'm gonna prove it. Was Carl Zimmerman? Did I get that right?
You mean Zimmerman?
Yeah, his first name was Carl, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
No.
What was his first name? Zimmerman.
His name was George.
George Simmons. Excuse me. So was his alibi that he was less that he wasn't perfect?
No, he didn't have one at all.
Okay, stop. So my criteria was specific. You moved the goalpost like I'm.
No, he didn't have. No, listen, stop.
Hold on, stop. Let me finish speaking, please. Make my point, please.
He didn't need one.
That's in my scenario, in the picture that I painted, I made a specific statement. You moved what I said. I said, you commit a murder. Your alibi is no one is perfect. We all sin. Zimmerman, George Zimmerman, never went to a judge and jury and told them he shouldn't be prosecuted because they all sin and no one's perfect. That wasn't his alibi.
No, that's just a straw man you made up.
You moved the goalpost. That was the criteria, not some
other
criteria you tried to make up.
Look. I gave
stupid.
I gave you two. Yeah, I do think you're stupid.
So stick to what I said. Stop moving the.
I gave you two things. I stated two things to you. That example I gave you was just one. I said to you that you and people like you came on talking that air garbage, and then you went right into detail talking about Christ is real, repent. That's the same thing you're saying in your example. We all sin. I'm sorry. That's what you do to Christ. I said that to everybody on this panel. See, you forgot that one because that's what you're doing. You just told us to repent. What does repent mean, y'all? It means we're sorry. Right?
Hold on. What was George Zimmerman's alibi? Why did he get off? Because clearly
he didn't have an alibi. The police recording is on record saying they told him to leave the kid alone.
At judge and jury, what did his lawyers say to get him off the case? That's the question. Nothing. There had to have been something for him to acquit him of a murder.
Listen.
It's retarded. It's literally retarded.
All right. Listen. That's why. Look in the chat. This person said, Andrew says he's white and a part of the white supremacy system. That's what he's a part of.
The answer to the question, what was his alibi? What got him off the
It
murder
was
case?
no, his alibi was this. This was his alibi.
No. What was his lawyers? How did he get out the case? What was his alibi against the cold-blooded murder? That's the question.
Yes,
he doesn't even know. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Everybody, he didn't even know his name was George, y'all. He said his name was Carl, remember? Everybody knows, and like Andrew just said, no goalpost moving, bruh. You're moving the goalpost.
So Chris Harris wants the link.
The link is up there at the front, at the top. I thought did I have it in there?
No, that was the last one. You got to re-put it in.
Okay. So what I just said, when he went there, he told him that he was afraid for his life, though
we don't need to keep reiterating irrelevant talking points.
Okay,
what was his judge? What did his lawyer? What?
Okay. All right, there we go. So he can get his ass off. Real simple. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with a retard. I'm literally telling him, everybody knows the George Zimmerman case. He said that he feared for his life, even though he called the police. They told him to leave the person alone, and he ran behind the kid. I already explained that. He ran behind the kid and and the police said, do not pursue the kid. In this case, it was Trayvon Martin. The police told him not to. So when he get in court in this white supremacist system, he told the court system and the judge and everybody and the defense that he feared for his life, even though he was armed and pursued an innocent person. And he still beat the case. And not only did he do that, to show you how wicked this system is, they raised over $1 million for him in GoFundMe.
Yep, that is correct.
Then he sold the gun at an auction that he killed Trayvon with, because he knows it has value to white supremacists. It's not even hard to understand. As Suja said, I've said it before, Rabbi Lewis makes me want to slap my own face. Right. Antonio says this. I mean, King Arthur said this dude is frying my brain still. Like, so, okay, so Chris, do you understand my point that I was making?
Yes, sir.
In that, when you look at the Jesus story, he said, show me a person that went to court and said, we all sinned and got off, right? But that's exactly what all religious people do. They sin, tell Jesus they're sorry, and get off.
That's right.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's listen, if he doesn't get them out of the hellfire, then what is the point of it? Because he didn't get us off the boat. So let's look at it this way. Say, Chris, so let's say let's say I come to your home and we're best friends. And I say, hey, man, I need some help. And you say, what's going on? I say, man, look, my electricity bill is $180. They're going to cut it off on Saturday if I don't pay it, but I don't have the money to pay it. I get paid next Friday. If you pay my bill for me, I'll pay you back. And then you say, Zekiah, you don't have to even ask that. That's fine. I got that. So today is Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday, I contact you and you say, Zekiah, I paid the bill already. And I say, oh my God, thank you, Chris, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Saturday comes along and they cut my electricity off. What just happened? You didn't pay my bill.
I didn't pay your bill.
If you had paid my bill, I would still have electricity. If JC had died for my sins, how do I get on a slave boat because of said sins?
Thank you.
It's not even that hard to understand. Let's see.
It's not. He didn't die because he died for your sins. He died because he was a false prophet. And the chief priests at that time, they disallowed anyone to sit up there and make themselves partners with the God of Israel. You weren't allowed to do that.
Correct.
That's why he was killed. They gave him a fair trial in Matthew, the 25th chapter. They gave him a fair trial. I tell everybody, read it. They gave him a fair trial.
They asked him. They didn't listen. They asked him, do you say you're the Son of God?
Yep.
Now remember, this is the. Now I'm going to put him on trial. This is the thing. Let's put Jesus on trial.
Let's do it.
This is the same person that said, let your yea be your yea and your nay be your nay. Anything else is of the devil.
Yep.
And then he comes right around and says what? Well,
it is as you say.
It is as you say.
But he wasn't saying, let me get this, let me see this. He wasn't saying it in the sense of, oh yeah, it's as you say. He was saying it like, that's what you said. Yeah, I didn't say it. He was playing games with him. You understand?
And if somebody asks you a straight up question and your yea is not your yea and your nay is not no nay, according to his own words, it's of the devil.
He's condemned. He condemns himself.
And also, his brother, James, said, let no man say when he is tempted of God, but he is tempted of his own lust. And then his lust bringeth forth sin. That's what his brother James said. Now, if we just rewind that for a second, JC was tempted and led into the wilderness by the devil, Satan.
Oh boy, that's wild.
Let me hold on. Let me put it on the screen real quick. Hold on 1 second.
I want you to go to that trial right quick too when you get a chance. Let's put him on trial. Let's do it right now.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna open up my computer too. Let me get my computer up in a second too. I'm at the gym here.
Peace. What's up, Zach?
What's up, brother? You doing all right?
Man, I'm okay, man. Peace and praise y'all to everybody. Hallelujah to everyone.
Most definitely, brother.
No doubt. I see you had to get him up out of here.
Yeah, like we talking in circles. Like at this point, like
I know.
Like what the hell is going on here? Like I'm like, I mean,
hey,
me in a court case where I'm giving you one better. The dude didn't even have to say nothing. He just knew it was wrong.
Zach, what in the Sheol is going on with this guy?
Right. Literal. Right. It's literally. Look what it says here. It says, this is James. This is JC. Now let me tell you, I ain't the smartest man in the world. I never pretend to be, but I do have common sense. And I do know one thing. I have two sons, Hezekiah and Noah.
Facts.
Right? Hezekiah Israel and Noah Israel. And Hezekiah ben Hezekiah and Noah ben Hezekiah, Israel ben Hezekiah, those two boys in there, they know each other very well. One is 13,
Facts.
One is 12.
Fact.
If the world said my oldest son was the Messiah, my brother knows if he's the Messiah. My son, his youngest brother, my son knows if he's the Messiah or not. Because he knows the stuff he says when daddy and mama not listening. So this is James, his brother.
Word.
His brother said, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. Let's look at the next verse. Let's look at the next verse.
Hey, Sue, y'all bless. She said 0 accountability. That's why.
That's it. 0 accountability, brother. Like, it's just like, I mean, I can understand you being afraid. Like, good Lord, but come on, man. At some point, you got to start being an adult.
You got to step up at some point, right?
Right, you got to be an adult, bro. At some point, man. Like, you got to be like, you know what? I'm an adult, man. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just say nothing that sounds stupid, right? Hold on, let me see something real quick.
Hey, they giving out wild work out here. Crazy.
All right, so here we go. So this is James chapter 1. And he said, hold on, here we go. Verse, as I just read, this is what he says. Now remember, JC said it ain't enough. JC said that if we see a sexy woman and we lust, we just committed adultery.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For thousands of years prior, if you didn't physically touch another man's wife or address her in that manner to sleep with her, that was never adultery.
Exactly.
So now
the physical act always was.
Correct, because that's what the law is. The law is about physicality. It's not even about thoughts.
No doubt.
So it says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. So, and then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So James, his brother, said, if you're tempted, you're tempted by your own lust and enticed. And then when your lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it finished, bringeth forth death. Last time I checked, JC death, and last time died, and last time I checked, he was led to be tempted into the wilderness by Satan. Crystal clear. So according to his brother James, anybody that say they are tempted by God, according to his brother James, they're tempted by their own lust. And JC said, if you got lust in your heart, if you just think about sleeping with another man's wife, you have committed adultery.
When the scripture says, well, the heart is incessantly wicked, who can know it?
Who can know it? As the brother YHWH said, this dude don't get tired of built their ass. He really don't. King Nara said, if Jesus died,
hey, Ezekiel, let me into my computer. I'm about to fall out. Let me into my computer.
Okay.
Hey, yo, he a masochist out here with it.
Right. King Nara said, if Jesus died for our sins, what happened to the people who lived before him? He would have had to die in the beginning of time, so everyone would go to hell. Zero logic used here. And guess what, King Nara? This is one thing that they don't understand as well. So the New Testament, it tries to clean itself up, just like the Hadith. See, the Hadith with the Quran, the Hadith is not the Quran. It's like if you made a comparison, a fair comparison would be the Quran would be the Old Testament and the Hadith would be the New Testament. So there's so many errors in the Quran that they created a Hadith to clean up stuff. So when you look at the New Testament, it's the same thing. It doesn't sit well. Like in one breath, Jesus tells them, hey, if you ain't got no sword, sell your cloak and buy a sword. Now remember, these are fishermen. These are not people that ain't got no wardrobe at the house.
Right.
Okay. So Jesus and his 12 disciples, they are the Akoski. Okay. They running around, and he telling them to get strapped. And then when one uses the weapon that he told them to buy, oh, no, don't do that. Let me heal his ear. He that live by the sword, die by the sword.
Oh, man.
As Brother Andrew said, free cruise. Yep, that's a free cruise ship. We got that one-way ticket, man. Carnival Cruise from the West Coast all the way to the Americas.
It's crazy.
Sue Spring said, all praise and glory to Yah. Most definitely. Andrew, Antonio Sandrew says, Barak Yah. Yep, thank Yah.
Hey, yo, Prime. Hey, Hey, yo, Zach, man, that's my brother, Antonio.
I know, I know. I
Yeah,
caught on
yeah.
when he said you'll be on in a minute. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See,
And then
yeah.
Ray Israel said, he said if JC was there during the creation, how the hell does Say not know he's the son of God? Exactly.
Come on now.
Okay, so all right, so we'll put him on trial a little bit, and then I'm gonna finish up what I was talking about with the whole. And man, I hope my what's the name don't die because my free trial might be ending. Sometimes I be want to say I'm gonna do a hour or hour and a half live, and then I look up and be
Right.
4 hours and 30 minutes. So they only give you like 20 minutes per month or whatever.
Facts.
I got to do a better job about, I guess, controlling the whole. And Lewis just wasted like 20 minutes talking in circles.
All right.
Man.
Can I be heard?
Hey, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
The earth
Okay,
is in
so
darkness. The people of the earth is in gross darkness, ain't they?
Yep.
just to let everybody in the chat know,
Facts.
I want to be the one on record to let everyone know
Like you
that
said,
Judas.
you ain't nothing but a pot, right?
On the pot. Yep.
Come on.
Oh, can you talking, Chris? I like you came in and out. Was that you talking?
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go on record also, since we're here today and we're putting Jesus on trial for a little while, to let everyone in the chat know that Judas was in fact a savior. Judas did what the Torah taught him to do, and that's to tell on false prophets. He did exactly what the Torah teaches you to do. I want to go on record as saying that here, because we're really going to put Jesus on trial right now. So the first place I want to go here is to Matthew 26. This is fair. We're going to adjudicate this by the New Testament. We're going to read it right out of the book. Therefore, nobody that believes in Jesus can come up here and argue with us and say that we are lying on them. All right. So I want to go right here to not the last Passover, which was illegal. He wasn't allowed to do that. The Lord's Supper instituted. He's not allowed to do that. Change the Passover meal.
Hey,
He's not allowed to do any of this, right?
hey, Zach.
Yeah.
So Ecclesiastic, it speaks about death and all of those things, right?
Chapter
Yeah.
9.
So it tells you what it says, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't got it all the way, kosher, but it's basically saying like a live dog is better than something that's dead, pretty
A
much,
dead
because the
lion.
dead see nothing. They know nothing, right?
Correct.
Like even their memory gonna fade because the people that, I mean, basically I'm paraphrasing, but it said even the people that know them, they gonna die too one day.
Yeah. That's why it can't be no
Right.
hell, because you can't be punished. You can't no good. You can't no bad. The whole nine. Next your
Right.
question. Hold on, Tim. Can you hear
Yeah.
Chris?
I can't hear Chris at all.
Say something, Chris.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Did you hear him?
No, I did not.
Oh, that's probably what it is. Cause I noticed you was talking while he. Okay, that's probably. I don't know what's going on then. Cause I can hear both of y'all clear, but it was like when Chris was talking, then you had started talking. I knew it was something that you guys can't hear each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, brother Chris. I can't hear you at all, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no offense taken. No offense taken. All right, so I want to start here at Matthew 26 and 57. Brother Hezekiah, if you don't mind, can we go there? Let's go to 57. We don't need to see all this illegal activity that Jesus is doing here. All right, so I want to read this, and I want everybody to follow me here. This is going to be quick but brief. And it says, and they laid hold on Jesus, and they that laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. Now, Caiaphas is the high priest. The high priest is a Messiah, just to let anyone know, he is a Mashiach, as the Tanakh teaches. Okay, so let's stop there. Verse 58. But Peter followed him from far off unto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now watch this. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witnesses against Jesus to put him to death. This is where the Christians start saying, oh, look, they're doing him unfair. But no, watch what they do. But found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet they found none. And at last came 2 false witnesses. Now, Hezekiah, the truth must be established by how many witnesses?
Say 2 or 3, what they say.
2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
So here it is. The New Testament hangs this man once again. The truth must be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. Now notice it said many false witnesses came, but they found none. In other words, it was probably one witness at a time,
It wasn't
one
enough.
person at a time. Right.
Yeah.
They were saying, no, that don't line up. They're adjudicating it according to the Torah, especially if he's a high priest, right? It's okay to assume that, right? Now, it says they found none. If they wanted to just kill him and they were just so crooked, like the Christian denominations say, they could have just did it. They don't need to go through all this, right?
If it was murder, it would have been murder, yeah.
Right. They didn't murder him. Now watch this. But they found none, though many false witnesses came, yet they found none. And at last came 2 false witnesses and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and build it in 3 days. Look at what the high priest does. The high priest arose and said to him, answer you nothing? What is that these witnesses witness against you? But Jesus held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God, that you tell us whether you be the Christ, the Son of God. Jesus said to him, what, Hezekiah? It's right there. You said it.
Yeah,
you said it. You said it.
Thou hast said it.
Thou hast said it.
But guess what? Caiaphas had never said it.
He never said it.
He lied.
He lied. That's the point. Now watch that. Look what he says. Nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. The high priest then tore his clothes. That's what rent his clothes means, saying, he done spoke blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, you have heard his blasphemy. What do y'all think? That's what it says. What think you? They answered and said, he's guilty of death. That's what the law says they are to do. That's what they are to do. And then they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hand, saying, prophesy unto us, Christ, who is he that smote you? So they're laughing at him. He's already been announced guilty. I could go right into the Tanakh and show you where Judas did what he was supposed to, according to Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter. When you're supposed to show no mercy against a false prophet, you're supposed to go report him. That's right. And I can also show you where it says you got to get 2 witnesses at. Tell me I'm lying and I'm misunderstanding this. The high priest did what they were supposed to do. That's the law.
Listen, watch this here. The example I just gave him of George Zimmerman was injustice because all the evidence showed that he pursued him and murdered him without trial. Because if he didn't belong there, that's not a crime. If he's stealing, that's a crime. But he don't have nothing on him but a Arizona iced tea and some Skittles. But my point,
right.
My point still stands. What George Zimmerman did was wrong. This is a trial.
Right.
They gave him the chance to.
They gave him a chance. There's no way around this.
And he said, if you say anything, let your yea be yea, which means yes be yes.
Yes.
But no be no.
No be no.
Anything else is of the devil. I remember when I was a little boy when I read that. I swear, right hand to God, I knew that was BS then.
Yep.
Because there's so many things people will ask you, and yes and no ain't sufficient. Watch this here. Watch this here. Let's say you're walking through. Let's say you're walking through a trail in the hood, and you stumble upon a dead body. And I say stumble upon, you stumble literally and fall. Right? And you touch the dead body. And when you get up, the blood is on your hands. And then somebody looks out and see you in the trail or wherever in the field, and they see you getting up with blood on your hands, and
Mm.
then they see you take off running.
Yeah.
And they call the police because there's something they're doing what a citizen's supposed to do. There was something weird about that. They can't see the man laying in the tall grass, but when the police come and look in the tall grass, there's a body. So then they say, well, the person that called it in, they go to their house and they say, well, did you see anything? Yes, I saw Hezekiah. He was over there, and he was over there with that body, got up and had blood on his hands.
Right. It don't necessarily mean you did it.
Correct.
But not
Right,
it don't
right, that's
necessarily
right.
mean you did it.
Right.
But guess
listen,
what? You were there. You were there.
Right.
But guess what? I can't tell them nothing
Right.
but yes or no. So now they come to me and say, hey, we want to talk to you for a second. Do you know anything about that body in that field? Yes. Did you discover that body in that field? Yes. Did you have blood on your hands? Yes. Did you touch that dead body? Yes. Come with me, sir. I can't say nothing else. I can't say nothing else. I can only say yes and no based on what they ask me.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now, everybody knows you're not going to go into court. You had the blood on your hand. Yes, Your Honor. You found the body over in the field. Yes, Your Honor. You can't explain what time it was? Yes, Your Honor. What time was it? Yes, Your Honor, because I can't say nothing else. I can only say yes or no. Did you kill that man? No, Your Honor. Now the court looks at you like, hold on. Because you ain't saying nothing but yes or no. You got to explain yourself, bro.
There's no nuance. There's no nuance.
Right. That is the most idiotic thing. So now I'm gonna give like, look, I was coming from the store. You can go around there and talk to the guy. He'll tell you I came out there and bought 2 jungle juices and a zebra cake. And I came and I tripped. The grass is tall. I landed on you.
You're gonna explain yourself now.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna tell the cop my yes be yes and my no be no, player.
No, that's not what the law say.
Correct. That's why you gotta have the multiple witnesses.
Right. That's why you need 2 according to that is Deuteronomy 17 and 6.
17.
And Deuteronomy 19 and 5. It both 19 and 15, excuse me. You have to have 2 witnesses to line up, and they still gave him a chance to explain himself.
They put the ball in his court.
They put the ball in your court. Because the chief priests, they had according to the New Testament, they had a relationship with this man, and they had known about some of the things he was doing. And you know, even when you go to the book of Acts, they say, well, for a good thing, we're not gonna punish these guys. You know what I'm saying? But do not teach in the name of that man anymore, because he was known as what? As a false prophet and a blasphemer. Do not teach in his name no more. Because 2, it's against the law in the book of Leviticus to teach in anybody or anything else's name or another God's name in Israel. Yep. You are not allowed to do that. And the priests were never wrong. I always show people that. And like I said, I teach people like Jesus was a false prophet. I can go to Luke chapter 1 verses I think it's 57 to 63, where Zechariah makes a prophecy saying what Jesus was going to do, and he never did it.
And he's gonna save the people from this. He's gonna save from the enemies, all that hate them. But he never did that.
He never did it. So therefore, you could throw the New Testament away. I wanted to share that with y'all.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Chris. Khan.
It's right there. Watch this.
You can hear him now, huh?
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah, I can hear him.
Brother Chris, I can hear you now, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But Khan, you getting down.
Yeah.
So now we got that. He didn't follow his own admission, which is yes be yes, no be no.
That's wild.
He's schizophrenic.
He told the guy that's trying to get to the bottom of it, you said it.
You said it.
That's a lie. Because Kaiser never said it.
He ain't never said it.
Hold on. Listen. Ain't telling a lie.
Yep. A lie is a lie. No matter how many times you twist it. If Hezekiah said, Chris, go to the store, I can't turn around and say Hezekiah told me to go to the movies. I can't do that.
Facts.
He said go to the store. If I say anything other than what he said, it's a lie. Simple.
That's a fact.
If a lie no matter how small, how great,
Yep.
how mundane, how monumental, how minuscule, how large, if a lie is a lie,
It's a lie.
then surely we all understand that lying on a government theocratic official,
Thank you.
a high priest,
A high priest.
telling him that he said it when he never said anything according to the narrative, is right there. The narrative never said anything about Caiaphas saying this. Now listen, Caiaphas, as a human being, can think you're guilty, but he can't put you to death without witnesses. And he gave you the ability to speak for yourself, and you didn't want to.
That's right.
And he just asked you, hey man, are you the son of God, bro? What's going on here?
Yeah. What's going on here, man? These people are witnessing against you here. Talk to me. You got blood on your hands here. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Did you trip over the dead body? What's going on here? You know?
Do y'all got siblings?
Yeah, I got a twin sister.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So check this out. Your twin sister, siblings, my siblings.
Mhm.
When we did something wrong, like my mom and dad was at work, right? And let's say, for instance, we broke a vase or something. My mom and dad knew that whoever was the one that was quiet,
Yeah.
Was the one that did it.
the one that did.
It's
My
facts.
nickname is Turk. Turk, did you break that vase? No, honey. What vase? And she read my body language, how I walk in and just start talking to her. Like, no, I didn't bring no vase. I've been outside with my friends. We went to the park today. Oh, okay. Natalie, my sister Natalie. Natalie, did you break that vase?
What do you mean by broke?
Yeah.
Mm.
What do
Boy,
you specifically mean by broke, Mom?
right.
Money.
When you mean broke, you mean like all the way? No, the crack.
You talk about lack of monetary gain. What are you
Yeah.
Right.
Are you talking about the Ten Commandments?
Broke in my spirit or what?
Are you saying the verse in the New Testament says the brokenhearted he shall hear the cat? What are you talking about? Broke. And next thing you know, you hear
Oh, man. Yep.
you listen. It's like I couldn't figure out when I was 6 years old. My mom would say, "Don't make a sandwich," and she would leave, and I would make a sandwich, and I couldn't figure out for the love of the Almighty how she knew I was doing it. Right?
Mm.
Because I was very careful. I would even no matter if I got the end pieces or the regular bread, I said, I know this woman is not counting this bread, right? The slices. I said, that's the only way she could be catching me. And then it dawned on me in my small little child mind that she wasn't counting the slices at all. She wasn't looking at the zip tie back on it. She was looking at the crumbs on the counter.
Yeah.
Come on.
Something so simple, but as a 6-7-year-old, I didn't understand that.
Right.
Until I got and I started saying like, oh. And I said, hold on, let me put this in there and put it in the trash. Then I come home, I had a peanut butter sandwich, and she come home, I'm finna cook. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad she messed with that bread. And I'm sitting there like, that's what it was. Now at that moment, I just didn't say nothing like JC. And I was guilty.
Yep.
See, when you're right, you don't hold your tongue. You don't hold listen, you don't let nobody accuse you of nothing falsely, and you know you didn't do it.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you go around making the claims, listen, who did you come to save? According to Luke chapter 1, verse 50, who did you come to save?
The Israelites.
Hey, y'all. Hey, brothers, didn't he say? Hey, brother, didn't he say something to the effect of some of y'all that's standing here right here ain't gonna taste death or something crazy like that? He said something wild, didn't he? According to their story.
Oh, here you go right here. Here you go right here. Here you go right here. I'm gonna show you right here.
Man, dude.
So they see me coming with the kingdom. In other words, he was gonna take it over. He was gonna take it over.
Right there.
He said so. Boy, they idle wild, man.
There
Hey,
you
the
go. Right
Highlander. There's
there.
the
The Highlander.
Highlander.
Oh man, they all there y'all go. Hey, you ain't catch that. I said idle wild. They idle wild.
Idle wow. Oh, but that's what they telling you. That's it's somebody around here that's 1,000 that's 1,900 and some years old,
Come
or
on,
some
man.
people down there that's doing that because his kingdom ain't came. He ain't did nothing, and they still waiting on somebody to come say. Let me tell you something, bro. That's like me right now getting a bucket of popcorn, putting the VHS tape in, and waiting on Jordan to win the championship with the Wizards.
It's never gonna happen.
He can't save the Wizards. It's over.
It's over.
It's over. That's the point. It's
It's
already over. It's already over.
But listen, every day. Come on, man. Jordan, go pull through. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. 2, 3, well, 4, 5. Come on. What you doing? Come on, man. What's going on, baby?
Hey,
25. I'm going to win the Wizards to win.
It's never gonna happen. It never happened.
And that's like you said, there'll be some here that shall never see death until he comes in his kingdom and with his power and his glory. And we ain't got no power and glory. And it's just that simple. But you know what it is? The real issue is really fear.
Facts. Fear is a great motivator.
Like, listen, look, I look at this broadcast. I'll see 30 people in, and then as soon as I start talking about Jesus, it'll drop down to 7. Instantly. I see it all the time because they are so afraid to question things. Like I tell people, my sons, and I know how my mom was. My mom, my dad, my grandma, my brothers. You know how children ask all those questions? They never stopped us from asking questions because my mom and them always said that's a sign of high intelligence. When you question things, you have high intelligence, right? When you accept things without understanding, you're a fool.
Facts.
So that level of high intelligence, when my sons are extremely intelligent, speak multiple languages. My sons are super smart, read on a collegiate level in the 6th grade, 7th grade. But it came from my son was in kindergarten writing his name. My son was in the 1st grade writing in cursive. But it's not because he's super brilliant. It's because we value him and we taught him. Right? Any child can do it. It's just the conducive arena you put them in. So when my sons, like I told my son, I said, "Hey son, I need a favor." He said, "What?" I said, "I want you to go in there." He was in the 6th grade. I said, "I want you to go in there and defrag my computer, and I want you to order some RAM for my gaming rig offline for me." Okay. And he just got my phone, went in, looked at it, took the case apart, looked at it. Okay, I'm gonna get this RAM. Hey, Dad, what you want? 32 gigs or you want 16 gigs? 32. Okay. Now listen. At this time, he's 11. But it's not because I couldn't do it. It's because I could, and I told him how to. And I trust him because I understand he understands what I taught him. And then he comes and says, "Hey, 2 days later, Amazon drops it off. You want me to put it in for you, Dad? Yeah, go ahead and put the RAM in for me. And go ahead. Yeah, I did defrag it, Dad. Okay, got you." And he'll go in and do it, run like a champ. I go in and inspect it. I inspect what I expect, and guess what? He did it right. So that's what it is. See, that's wisdom and understanding. What it seems that James knows that his brother wasn't righteous. He knows his brother was a sinner. By his brother's own admission, he had to be a sinner because he said that if you look in lust, which is not the law, and the Most High said, "Don't nobody add or take away." Don't add. You can't add to the law. That in
So
itself is a sin.
yeah, if you telling people that if you look and lust, then basically you done committed a transgression. Well, then you just lied. So basically,
Right.
you
That's a
just committed
transgression.
a transgression. Lying is a transgression.
It's a
You just
transgression.
lied, right? So what are we talking about? Come on, man, stop playing.
It's a transgression. So, and I remember there was a cartoon called X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember in one episode I heard something so profound. He said, "People lie." This is the Sentinel. The head Sentinel said, "People lie because of fear."
Facts.
I thought about it. I said, "Damn, that's true." Think about it. When you
Mm-hmm.
was little, you told a lie so you wouldn't get a what? A whooping.
Exactly.
When you were dating a girl, but this other girl liked you, and she said, "Have you talked to her?" No, I haven't.
Exactly.
It was fear of losing the other girl.
Exactly.
Always fear. So once you conquer the fears, then by default, there's nothing that can get in this place. And that's what I was talking about the last broadcast a couple days ago when I was talking about this simulation we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is literally a simulation, right? And we know it's a simulation. Now, when I say that, people sit and say, "Oh, you talking about?" No, it ain't got to do with computers. It's way above that. That's like child's play. We're talking about the creator and his ways of thinking, which he says, "My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts." And he made a simulation. The ones we make that are procedural, that are limited with RAM, Moore's law, they bottleneck by CPU, GPU, right? The Most High don't have those restrictions. So this thing seems. I give you an example. You ever notice, like, I wear glasses. When I dream, I don't wear glasses, and I see crystal clear. I've never been hungry in my dream, and I've never had to pay a bill in my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've never had to pay a bill. I've never been hungry. Now, there's been things like from a fear perspective, like a nightmare fear perspective or whatever, right? But I learned at a young age that you can call in the Ninja Turtles to help you. And then that transformed in, you can call in Yah to help you. Like, I had a dream last month, and I kept having this dream over and over again. So I kind of took that as a sign, right? But in this dream, I was running from people, and they were trying to kill me. Like, they trying to unalive me. And somehow they were trying to chase me in my own neighborhood I grew up in, which is impossible to chase me there, because I know every nook and cranny, every square inch of that neighborhood. But no matter what happened, I would lose them, and within a minute or two of me catching my breath, I would see them coming. Right? And I woke up. Now, it don't sound scary, but you know, when you're in it and you're seeing it, it's like these thugs in black suits with helmets and batons and guns are just like trotting. They trotting like they're the Zulus. They just coming. They just coming. And I'm like, I can run faster than them. I can run my full speed, and I can run, blah, blah, blah. I jump, old house, go under the house high, let them go by. Then I come back and go like the other way. And then I'm like there in a field. Woo, and I look over, they coming. And I'm like, in my dream, after 2 or 3 times I have in this dream, I start saying, I got a tracking device or something? Now I'm in my dream. I'm really saying stuff like this, right? But it wasn't a tracking device. I found out what the point of the dream was. Because like the 4th time I had this dream, I was running, right? I looked back and I saw them coming. And I said, hell with all of this. And I turned around and I stopped. And they stopped. So then I started trotting towards them. Like they were, and I started running full force, and they started running backwards. And I understood that was the fear. They were chasing me because of the fear.
Fear. Once you conquered your fear, boom.
They couldn't chase.
Facts.
Because when I turned around, I looked back and I turned around and I said, let's get them, y'all. Just like that. I said, let's get them, y'all. And when I said that, I was a little apprehensive at first, so I jogged. But every step I took, they got bigger and bigger. So I was just full force running, and they were just running backwards real fast like this, right? And it's the fear. It's the fear that made people take the thing in their arm. It's the fear that I won't be able to have a good time with my friends, so I took the thing in my arm. It's the fear that I can't go to the movie theaters, took the thing in my arm. It's the fear
I'm gonna lose my job.
I'm gonna pay my mortgage or my rent. It was the fear, right? It was always the fear. But here's the deal. The thing about fear is that it's always just a choice.
Oh, that's facts.
It's always just a choice. The fear is always the choice. So it led me down to something I always thought about, even when I was a Christian, was the doctrine, the concept of free will. So we talk about the simulation. The free will, people think they got the free will, right? They got the ability, and the word free, I'm gonna put it on the screen. The word free. The word free literally means not imprisoned or confined. And it says not controlled by obligation or the will of another. So we know in the Bible it talks about free will offerings. But so for a while, it was like years ago, I was trying to understand, like, well, something's wrong. We don't have free will. I knew we don't have free will because I'm like, if we had free will, then somebody would be free to do whatever they want without restriction, because that's what the word free means. It means not controlled by obligation or the will of another. And that would be the creator as well. Right? So then I said, okay, you look up the word will, right? So not being controlled by another's obligation. And then will says the mental faculty by which one deliberately chooses or decides upon a course of action. So you're free to choose whatever you do without restrictions. Right? Without restrictions. You're free to do whatever you want to do without restrictions. Right there. And when I said that, I said, hold on. So basically, if there is a hell and you're the Most High, and you come to me and say, okay, Hezekiah, you know you've been living foul, it's time to go to hell. Well, if I had free will, I could say, no, what you talking about? I ain't going nowhere.
That's right. That's basically that's what they basically saying, and you know you can do because you got quote unquote free will.
Free will without restriction. See, only in religion does words lose their true meaning. All doesn't mean all. All means some.
Yeah, for Christians, it all means some.
Exactly, and free means kind of free.
Yeah, to a point.
A discount. Free means discount. Right. If I sit there
buy
and say,
one, then give one free.
Right. It's a BOGO. It's a BOGO. Buy one, get one. Right. And that's what I was looking at that from that standpoint. So like I was saying, when you look at the film, The Matrix and stuff like that, Hollywood just flipped it. So Hollywood made it where the place where you struggle, they made that reality. But the truth is, the Matrix really isn't the place where Neo has the cool hairstyle and the black trench coat.
Facts.
They want you to believe that. Now, I know in the movie that's the Matrix, but what I'm saying is the place where you're afraid, the place where you can be hunted down like a dog, the place where you wear tattered clothing, right? The place where you're hiding from something all the time, from machines. That's the Matrix. That's not the real world.
Right.
So if you reverse it, what we're looking at right now, we think this is real, and this is how you can prove it. When you look at the mind, right, in your head, the mind. Like I was saying earlier, when you have a dream, in your dream, if you wear glasses, you don't wear glasses in your dream. You see crystal clear. Matter of fact, sometimes the colors are more vibrant. You're able to do things that you can't do normally, that you can't do in the real so-called real world. So any limitations you have, for the most part, like in a dream, you can fly. Right? Like I said, notice, and I talk to you all the time, like when I have my dreams, I've never answered a cell phone in a dream.
You can't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
The reason why you can't answer it because I think the right side of your brain is sleep
Not
asleep.
not active. Yeah, correct.
It's not
Not
active,
active,
and
right? Right.
your left side is active. And
Correct.
that's why when you look at, I want to say this because you're hitting on something, and I gotta go. But when you look at the movie The Matrix, they were in the cerebral cortex. You know,
Correct.
that's what
Same
Neo
Ah,
here.
means.
right.
And what
Neo.
ended up happening is when you looked at all the words, they were always in code. All the words were in coding
Correct.
because in the
Mhm.
dream you can't read either. You can't read anything in a dream,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's letting you know what the movie was really about. It was about the cerebral cortex, and that's why Neo could fly and do all of these other things that he couldn't do when he was awake in the real world. You see what I'm
So,
saying? So that's what the
so
movie
y'all,
was truly about.
so y'all was just y'all speaking on the analytical versus the other side of the brain, right?
They're both using tangent, but
Okay, okay.
what I'm saying is, like in a dream, you can analyze.
Hmm.
You can
Okay.
analyze, like you can sit there and say, "I'm being chased.
Yes.
I'm gonna go
Right. I
this way.
got it. Okay.
I'm gonna go this way." Right? But you notice,
Hmm.
like a lot of times in your dreams, like I was telling you earlier, you might go this way. It don't make no damn sense because you went this way. They was back there, and that's somebody in front of you. Right?
Ah, right. Yeah, that can happen.
So,
Okay.
but but my point is this: when you look at the movie and you look at it in reverse, everything starts here anyway.
Hmm.
So, give you an example. In the movie The Matrix, the machines were never called evil. They were never even called bad.
Nope.
Hmm.
In the movie, it tells you that man created the machines and glorified, as Morpheus said, they glorified an AI. Neo said artificial intelligence, yeah, artificial intelligence. And
Hmm.
that the point of the Matrix was this: the Matrix had many iterations because it was trying to fix itself. Because the point of the Matrix was to take all responsibility from man
Mm.
and try to make life this great grand ball. But
Hmm.
man is flawed at the core. So every
Okay.
iteration, the Matrix is trying to do, and it just said, you know what? The only thing logical is just lock them up and give them what they want mentally.
Mm.
So let's grow them. Let's keep them in a pod, and they'll help us with energy, like you said, like a battery, right? But in the
Hmm.
same breath, let's give them what they want. Put them in their dream state. Put them in a dream state, because what they're asking for is a dream. They want a world where nothing's wrong.
And stop right there, Hezekiah. Watch this. And this is why when Neo was asleep, which represents the cerebral cortex,
Hmm.
Morpheus calls him. Now,
Mm,
if you read about Greek mythology, Morpheus was the
Morpheus,
god of what?
dreams.
Dreams.
Uh-huh.
And he
Mm.
was
Come
the
on.
one that awoke Neo. That was the whole point. Right.
Mm.
And he woke him up. That was the thing. It was Morpheus that called Neo. That was it was
Wow.
all
That's.
about the cerebral
Now
cortex,
watch
the
this here.
right side of the brain.
They tell you
Mm.
that Neo is the one.
Mm.
Now check this out. Neo was the one. If you really think about it, there's a scene in the beginning of the movie when the guy comes to the room when Neo is selling. You know, he's look. Notice this here. Look at America today. When you go back to 1999 when that movie came out, people didn't have side hustles.
Mm.
The economy was not in this crazy shape where you had to have a side hustle.
Yeah.
Mm.
In 1999, you could make $6 an hour and have an apartment, car note, car insurance, the whole nine.
Huh?
I know, because that's what I did.
Mm.
I met my wife. No, my wife now, we've been married 21 years, but I met my wife, Katrina, and when I met her, I worked overnight, made $7.25 an hour, and that was like a great job. And 26 years ago. Made
Mm.
$7.25 an hour, and that $7.25 was able to buy groceries. I had a late apartment, car note, car insurance. Every Friday I went out to the movies. Well, not every Friday, every Tuesday, because Tuesday was like half day for the movies,
That's
whatever.
right. Mm.
So Tuesday, so I would go to the movies every Tuesday. Um, entertainment, go out to, eat. I wouldn't eat unclean, but I would eat stuff like I'd go to a steakhouse once a week, things like that. I was $7.25 an hour. Now, why am I saying that? Because in the movie showing you what's gonna come, because Morpheus said, I don't know what time it is, brother. He said, I don't know what time it is, but we believe it's this time. He said, you've been told it's the year 2000, whatever. He said, but it's really this time, right? He said, and Morpheus broke it down like this to the Neo. He said, you are basically a slave. So Neo had a side hustle, and when he walked in the door, the dude said, Jesus Christ, you look a little whiter than usual. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then figuratively, who does Neo represent?
The Savior, the Savior,
Right.
the Christ,
Right.
the ONE.
Even though the one,
He was
even
the
though
ONE.
it tell you in the movie there is no one. The Matrix had many iterations.
Right. And that's what the woman told him. She said, sorry, baby. It was the oracle told the truth. She said, sorry, no, you're not the one.
Not the one. But everybody took it like, oh, the oracle was wrong. No. You're not the one. There's been a 9, there's been a 10, there's been 11. You're just the next iteration.
You're just the next iteration of the same thing happening again and again and again and again.
And to further prove it, the last movie that came out that was trash, Trinity became the one.
Yep.
Now she got the superpowers, and Neo don't.
And look at that. Look at the wordplay. Trinity is the one.
The Trinity is the
Come
one.
on, man.
That's
Stop
it.
playing.
The Trinity is
Stop
the
playing
one.
games out here. You know what I mean?
So, but guess what? The subconscious gonna pick up on that.
Facts.
Even if you don't understand it, that's why people sit there and say Neo is the one. And what's that? They say JC is the what? The one. But what did Chris say about precisely 35 minutes ago? Chris said, and I quote, Caiaphas was the Messiah. He was a Messiah, a Mashiach. Why? Because he was anointed. So Caiaphas is anointed. JC is anointed, but somehow JC is the one.
How did that make sense?
Now, I don't even believe Caiaphas was an Israelite at all. I'm just saying, if you look at it from that standpoint, the high priest is the one, is a one. He is anointed. He's anointed, not a one, but he's anointed. But like you just pointed out.
Well, okay, Cyrus was anointed, wasn't he?
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's many.
He was chosen.
He was
chosen.
I'm
sorry. Cyrus was chosen. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's many people, like Dawid was anointed.
There you go.
When Samuel came to him and put the oil on his head, he anointed him, right? And David talked about how you anointed my head with oil, right? And then we see his son Shlomo, Solomon, was anointed. We see Rehoboam was anointed, because we see the Most High says, I'm gonna take the kingdom from you, but I'm gonna leave you for my servant David's sake. And you got Yehuda, Benjamin, and Loai, right? So what I'm saying is there is no one.
Exactly, because if there was a one, if his Dawid was anointed, then his son was anointed after him. Right. That's more than one. That's been
Aaron
anointed.
was anointed, and Moshe was anointed.
Right, exactly. Come on, man.
These are all Mashiach.
They all Mashiachs, right?
So, but when you, like you said, Trinity is the one in the last movie. Trinity.
But even to play on words with that, Trinity is the one.
So
that's crazy.
So people will look at it and they'll see the analytical piece of it, like, because there's always two sides to everything, right? So you're gonna have the physical, like a metaphor. How do you determine a metaphor? You add the word like in certain ways to it. So all flesh is grass. That's literally not true. But if you say all flesh is like grass certain ways, then it's fragile. It's here one day, gone the next. Right now, it makes that phrase that was false, metaphorically and figuratively, opens up a whole new understanding by saying a few words.
Exactly.
Right. And that's kind of what people are not understanding, like with this free will. You don't have any free will. According to the Old Testament, there's no free will. There's a free will offering, but that's the relative truth. Because guess what? You can look at the book where it says, the Most High said, when we sleep, he still at our instructions. You can look at Jeremiah 10 and 23, where the Most High says what? Oh, Lord, I know it's not in man that walketh to direct his own steps. You can look at where Pharaoh's heart was hardened. See, people like to play games with the hardened heart part and say, well, no, because it was already in his heart. No. It said he had to harden his heart because he would have let them go.
Mm-hmm.
I always show people that.
Yeah, but they,
Right?
they seem to not hear you probably when you letting them know. You know what I mean?
Right. He said, I'm a have to heart. He said, Pharaoh won't let him go. Now watch this. God says in the text that whenever I say the word, it got to be spoken. It can't return what? Void.
Void.
He says
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh not gonna let him go. Pharaoh didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives us an analogy. He says, potter will, I'm the potter, you're the clay.
Yep.
And you know, if you make a pot, that pot can't ask you nothing.
Right.
If you want to put doo-doo in the pot gonna have doo-doo in it. If you want to put fresh water in it, it's gonna have fresh water in it. Because the potter can make the choice of whatever the pot is and how it's going to be utilized.
Facts.
Without the pot's input. You see? So that's the same simple deal. Like they think free will. So since they got free will, this is why a person that's a Christian, a Messianic, or a Muslim, they'll come to you and say, you're going to hell. You're going to go to hell. Because they don't even realize they are the Antichrist. They're the ones that have made themselves God.
Yep.
Think about it. They're judging you, and they ain't just judging you. They've already condemned you.
Facts.
Hey, Zeki, I got to get ready to get out of here, man, and go to bed, man. Great show as always.
Yes,
sir. Thanks for letting me on, man.
No problem.
Peace, peace, brother Chris.
Peace, brother. Good meeting you. Good meeting you.
All right, good to meet you too, brother. Peace.
So when you look at it from that standpoint, they already have made their mind up, and that's why they'll come to you. They come across as lunatics, because when you listen to people talk, like I told a dude today, I said, listen, the mere moment you tell me I'm going to hell, you just tapped out, because there's nowhere to go with that. Like once you judged me and told me what's going to happen to me, you just told me you give up. Because the verbal lashing you're getting is hurting you. So now you just got to resort to just damnation. But here's the deal. Like I was saying in the last episode, if you got a day with 1,000 years and you live to be 80 years old and you live for 2.5 seconds in the eyes of the Most High, then why would your punishment be eternal damnation? You only live for 2.5 seconds according to the Most High. That's just if you count it like a day with the Most High.
Right.
I ain't talking about he's eternal and these trillion upon trillion. We can't even fathom that number. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the 1,000 years. 1,000 years with the Most High is one day. We don't even live a 3 seconds.
A millisecond, right? A millisecond
with the Most High, right? But then, and you weren't even bad all those 3 seconds.
But you're gonna burn forever.
Trillions upon trillions upon trillions. That is so sadistic.
Yeah, that's
that
wild.
You really have to be mentally sick to think. You know what that's like? You know what that's like? That's worse than our forefathers, that when somebody said they got raped or graped, and then they got beaten and burned and hung from a tree, and then parts of their bodies were eaten. That's worse than that, because at least that ended.
Right.
When you burn forever, it don't end.
Right. So yeah, according to them.
Right. So think about how logical that sounds. Like, and plus, remember, since you're not righteous, Yah's not going to prolong your life. So he's going to do what? He's going to let you die earlier. So that's a part of the punishment there. He's going to let you die earlier than live a long life, and then at the same time let you burn forever. Bro, it don't even literally make sense logically. It's like me being mad at my son for spilling milk when he was a child. And right now, 20 years from now, when he's 32 years old, I'm not talking to you.
Don't make no sense, man.
You dropped your bottle, you didn't pick it up, and your mother's breast milk was all over the kitchen floor. I'm not talking to you.
That's wild. Hey, Zach, not to change the subject, cut your wisdom and nothing like that, but me and bro was talking about something earlier. We speaking on in the book talking about the time of Noah, when he was talking about the sons of Yah.
Give me 1 second. Let me read the rest so we get caught up real quick, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, good.
No, you good. That's who said that's right. That who said my car insurance more than my car note. Louisiana has the highest insurance car in home. Yeah, and we also have inspection stickers.
Gotta have
And
them.
everybody know, do y'all have inspection stickers in Cali?
They just got the insurance stuff and but not inspection. But you gotta get your the smog stuff together too. You gotta
I
get
mean,
that
yeah, I
together.
know that, yeah, because of the pollution.
Right.
But every 2 years, we got to go pay $20 to say our car work.
Wow.
And nobody really checks it. Everybody knows somebody to do it for $10 for a year or $2 for 2 years, and you ain't got to go in and hit no horn and turn no lights on and nothing. Like, hey, look, stick it, give me $20.
Facts.
Right? Because the police don't pull you over and say, hey, man, your horn ain't really loud. And, no, nobody does that. Delta Rule says Southeast Louisiana. Right, Delta. Like, and it's another thing. Like, you would get car insurance. Your car insurance rate might be like my wife. I had car insurance for my car, my wife's car, and our other vehicle, and it was like $200 and something. And then, like, in the course of 3 years, it's for something. But it's for something because of y'all, Delta Roots. Down. No, I can't. Yeah, you in New Orleans because of y'all down there. Because of y'all down there, Delta.
Down there, wow.
Right. So no, it'd be like what'll happen is if it's a storm down there, so like State Farm or Allstate or whatever, they have to pay out when people's houses get damaged in the storm because they down in New Orleans. Okay. So they raise our rates up here.
Man, that's a lot of hate.
A lot of hate, brother. Lenore the Yehuda said, what if hell's eternal disgrace in afterlife? Like everyone ever born knows you're a mark or a pervert. Well, I mean, think about this here. When you look at the afterlife, what is the afterlife when you look at Ecclesiastes chapter 9?
Exactly.
Don't lose your train of thought, Tim, okay? When you go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, and let me show you real quick.
Oh, let's make go in there.
Okay, here we go. All right. It says, as you can see on the screen here, let me maximize that. Okay. It says, for to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. I'm alive. You alive, Tim. Lenore. Right. And Lenore, I'm sorry, it's Leonard. I know it might be Leonard, but I keep saying Lenore because I got a friend, he pronounced Lenore. That's why I keep doing it, brother. So if I'm saying it incorrectly by saying Lenore, I apologize, okay? Because I just got a friend named Lenore, even though I know most people say it's Leonard. Delta Roots, Sioux, we're all alive. So what that means is, for to him that is alive or her that is joined to all the living, there is hope. And that's the verse you was quoting earlier. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Nobody says a dog is more majestic than a lion. Come on. The lion is called the king of beasts, and the dog is called unclean, even though both unclean.
Facts.
Verse 5. For the living know that they shall die. I know I'm going to die. I know y'all's going to be the one at the end. You know you're going to die, Tim. Lenore, right. I think you know you're going to die. Only the people that really follow the New Testament think they're going to live forever, which is the same lie the serpent said. You shall not surely die. The Most High said, you shall surely die. The serpent man says, you won't die. And then everybody that follows Christ says, we won't die. Delta root, same thing. So it says, but the dead know not anything. Meaning when you die, you don't know nothing. That's why the Most High told us not to be into necromancy, not to be going to grave sites, talking to our people, because they can't hear us.
That's right.
Right? It's a waste of time. And then he says, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. What is memory? That's good, bad, up, down, left, right, hot, cold, right? Anything you can think of is from a memory bank. Well, first off, we know that's the case because your brain rots, right? And your brain decays. And that's where your memory is stored here. The mind is different from the brain. The mind is the seat of emotions with the spirit of the creator. But when the creator pulls that spirit back, the body ceases to function, right? And that's what a living soul is: body plus spirit. It ain't there's no soul inside of you. Your body plus the breath of life is a living soul, according to Genesis. And then it says, neither have they. It says also their love. Well, if you love Yah, their hatred, if you hate Satan, and their envy, if you envy the wicked or whatever, is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever. Olam, Hebrew, Olam, in anything that is done under the sun.
Right.
So when you die, that's it. There is no eternal disgrace because there's no afterlife. The afterlife came from the Egyptians. And that's what the Most High told us. He said what? When we came out of Egypt, he said what? Do not follow after the ways of the Egyptians. That's sun worship, the Catholics, the Christians, Sunday worship, right? We know about the whole JC and his 12 disciples. We also know about Haru and his 12 disciples. We know where the story, they'll change bits and pieces up, but it's the same story. You know, Haru, the son of God, JC, the son of God, Baal, the son of God. It's all the same story. Every culture just has the same story. They change the names. So today, but none of those deities were real. When you look at Mercury, run, right? That's the Department of Transportation today. See, in ancient Rome, this is why a lot of the rich politicians and stuff like this and the elected officials, this is why they don't care nothing about no religion. None of them are religious because they know it's BS.
Exactly.
Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Yah, because Yah is not BS. I'm saying religion.
Well, we know that's not religion. Yah never gave us religion. He gave us what? Laws, commandments, statutes, judgments, precepts, right?
Yep, ordinances and judgments. That's it. So that's the stuff that, I mean, so when you look at them, they know. See, the Romans knew that who's the Roman dude that's smart? Somebody help me out. Who's the Roman dude that's smart?
Oh, I'm talking about their one of their emperors or whatever.
One of their deities.
Oh, Zeus or Jupiter or one of them.
Jupiter and Zeus are the same person.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But like Mercury is speed, right? So I'll give you an example. So Mars is the god of war. Well, today that's the Department of Defense.
Yeah, right. Fact.
Mercury is fast. That's the Department of Transportation. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at these deities, like if this deity is dealing with water, etc., whatever, that's the Department of Water and Sewage.
Right.
See, they understood that these deities were explaining how to run a society. They weren't real deities, but the common man that's kind of slow, like Lewis, he thought this was the real deity. You see, Lewis, if we went back 3,000 years ago, Lewis would be trying to go challenge Medusa.
Yeah, he thought Poseidon was something real.
like Poseidon. Poseidon is the water deity. So Department of Water and Sewage, waste management. That's what he is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like if you just go down the line and you look at education, you look at all these different things, you look at Department of Defense, war, you look at transportation, Department of Transportation, these deities are still worshipped. But they're worshipped more on the figurative side, and they don't realize they were just describing parts of the government. You know, that's why the rich politicians, y'all ever see stuff like Spartacus and stuff like that in the movie Spartacus, you would see all of the debauchery and the treachery they were doing. These people had no conscience because they didn't follow the God, but it'd be the first thing they say is the gods. The gods, the gods. Favor fortunes the bold. You're a thief. And then it says they have no more portion forever in anything done under the sun. So when we die, we ain't coming back. Ain't no coming back.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And that's why when you get in that church or wherever you go and your mama passed, that them tears come down.
Right. Because you know you ain't gonna see it no more.
You ain't gonna see it no more.
Right. But what does the scripture say about that? It said we're supposed to cry when born,
Why
we
they
supposed to
alive? Yeah,
rejoice
yeah,
when
yeah.
they leave here
And when
because
they leave, be
they ain't
happy
got
and
to,
rejoice.
right, because they ain't got to put up with the trials and tribulation of this life no more.
There you go, Lenore. There you go, Mithras, Jebus, right, and Dionysus, right. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the same thing. So these are all Mithra. You know, the Coda Mithra, Dionysus. These are the same person, just
Right,
different cultures repackaging it. That's all it is.
right.
And today is
Mm-hmm.
Baal worship, and they're building that
Fact.
ark of Baal right now today. I don't know if y'all saw that. Check this out. This is the archway of Baal being rebuilt. They're rebuilding
Mm-hmm.
it right now, bro.
Hmm.
You see? They're rebuilding it right now. You see it? They're rebuilding
Oh
it
yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah. They not.
You
They,
see?
look.
It's because these deities never changed. They never
Mm-hmm.
changed. The deities never changed. So okay, so yeah, Lenore, yeah, oh hell yes, they building them archways again. See, that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. None of this stuff is new. That's why Shlomo said nothing new under the sun.
My son. That's right.
Because it's the same deities. And guess what? Baal is the son of El. And you talk to any
Mm-hmm.
Christian, who is El? That's God. Well, who is God's son?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Baal.
Facts.
Okay, so you was
It's the
saying what now about Noah? I think you said something about Noah.
Oh, we're talking about this the sons of Yah versus sons of men. Basically, the Sethites versus the Canaanites, right?
Okay,
That's what that
yeah.
was
Okay, I got
about.
you. Okay, I got
That
you. Yeah.
that's what that was about. It was about this the line, the lineage of Seth versus the lineage of Cain. Not no angels that came down and slept with no women and nothing crazy like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
That's
all
all that was about.
it's because hold on. What does Proverbs say? Watch this here. And I when my sons be sometimes they love each other. They be fighting sometimes. And my wife be
Uh-huh.
like, you ain't gonna stop them. And this is what I quote to her every single well, it don't happen often, but I always quote to her.
Mm-hmm.
I quote this for her all the time. The book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Facts.
That's what
That's
teach
a
you how to
fact.
fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what teach you how to be tough. The brothers. That's who
Mm-hmm.
wrestle with you. Listen, you can be a little brother. In the streets, you might be afraid of somebody bigger than you, but for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, you think your big brother can't whoop you.
That's wild.
Right?
That's wild.
You'd have said, yep, these wicked people, they don't learn, bro. So yeah, you like you were saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those descendants, when you look at Seth, these Canaanite, these are just different families that's beefing.
Right.
And we see it
Mm-hmm.
to this very day.
Mm-hmm.
We see it to this
Because
very day.
because people get all sideways when they hear certain terms and don't understand because it goes back and tells you, it said when Seth was born, it said men began to call on the name of Yah, right?
Began to call, exactly.
Exactly. Come on now. So that's what
So
lets
now
you
he's
know,
the preeminence of them starting to do what? Hey, y'all, we need you.
right, adhere to the most high. Right.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of that, and you know them angels came down, they slept with
Right.
the and when them angels came down,
Oh
they was
man.
giants, they bust out their mama's stomach and what chapter and verse is that?
Man, they watch too many movies, man.
Yeah, it's
I'm
movies.
serious. They watch too much TV, dog. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know. You know what? It can be fun when you know it's just entertainment. But when you don't know that it's just entertainment, then that's when the problem ensues.
Like I tell people all the time, it's dark here now. It is 9:59 Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people all the time, I live in I don't never say, well, I'm going to say this, but I don't mean this. I live in a pretty safe
Right.
community. I never
Right.
say that really because I don't try to trick myself into letting my guard down because a lot of crime don't happen. That's
Right.
how you get got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only saying that just for the purpose of this conversation. But
Right.
if I go outside right now, I have a big yard. So at the edge, like my fence line and stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
can't really see if somebody like if you was in my yard, I got floodlights and everything. But if you just at the edge of my yard in the corner, just standing like this, I couldn't even see you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. And I'm saying it to say this. When I walk out, and I go into the garage and I don't look at this corner, that corner, this corner, that corner of my yard. I don't look at the corners of my yard for a demon.
Exactly. You're looking for a person.
A person.
Right. A flesh and blood human being.
Yeah, a flesh and blood human being that I might have to just put down on the ground. That's what I look, right? That's what I look at. I don't fear. I don't walk out there to my car with a gun in my hand. I don't do all of that.
No.
I believe that if you keep the law, statutes, commandments, precepts, ordinance, and judgment, the Most High gonna take care of you, right?
What it say? Woe to the man that put his strength in what? Weaponry.
In weaponry. That's it.
Come
like
on.
Esau.
Right.
Right.
That's why.
So I don't do all of that. But
right,
I do know, I do pay attention, and I make sure I watch my surroundings. I tell my wife, listen, you come outside and there's some money on the windshield. You just drive. You don't get out and touch that stuff. You don't know what people are so wicked. You know, they put something on it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They put something on it or whatnot.
Right. Next thing you know, they running up on you. Wow, whatever.
Right.
But you know.
They running up on you. They running up on you. They running up on you. Because you done fell and passed out on the side of the car somewhere. Like I told my wife, I said, listen, I don't have a problem with you wanting to help the homeless. That is a great thing. That is very noble. But I would never, ever in my lifetime let you go help the homeless in downtown in the alley at night. Or day for that matter. You ain't going to no. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you can have all the right intentions, but bad things still happen. You know, you can have all the right intentions. And I think I was telling y'all the other day, we was talking about Yellowstone and this AI and stuff like this in the simulation. So when you look at the simulation, all they're doing is they're trying to mimic the creator simulation, but it's gonna pale. Look. When you look at the car, I remember an old mechanic explained this to me one time. He said, if you look at a car, you look at a computer, he said, you went to school for computers, right? I said, yes, sir. He said, okay. He said, do you know about computers? I said, yeah, I know about computers, right? He said, okay, so you went to school for computers? I said, yeah, I did. I said, computer science major. He said, okay. He said, let me ask you a question. He said, what is the computer model after? And I thought about it. I said, I honestly couldn't tell you. It's computer and CPU. I said, hold on. I said, well, no. He said, go ahead and say it. What you think? I said, well, the human body. He said, precisely. The car, the human body. When you look at the motor, when you look at now they got the computers, the CPU or the chip, the brain that run the car. You look at the liquids, the blood, the water, right? You look at all this stuff, this system of this car, this vehicle, bringing in oxygen for air, right? Pushing oxygen out, pushing the what's the name out, and carbon monoxide, right? Carbon dioxide, right? So when you look at it from that standpoint, that's exactly what these inventions are made. They're measured off the human body, right? You got 4, extremities, right? 2 hands, 2 feet. You got 4 tires. Then they might sit there and make an 18-wheel or whatever case may be, but that's just based on the load and weight distribution.
Right.
So all this stuff is based off the human body.
The model is off of the
human body. Correct.
Right, exactly.
And so they're trying to play catch up. Like when you look at the eye is so intricate that the camera can't even do what the eye do.
No, it can't.
To this day, that's what I said. Well, we can zoom in here. Yeah, your eye probably can't zoom in there, but the camera is certain things the camera can't do that the eye can do. Right. So, and I'm saying all of that to say this is that when you look at all the things they're doing, they're trying to mimic the creator, but the creator is so far advanced, so above them when it comes to technology, when it comes to all this stuff, that he's so far above them that we don't even realize we're in a simulation until you just really stop and think about it. When the Most High said, let there be light, or when he created things by voice, that's just coding. Like if you look at my last video, I went in the comment section and I explained in the comment section, let me see if I can find it real quick. I had explained in the comment section, let's see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I had explained in the comment section exactly how all of this stuff works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see something real quick. Okay, I think this is it here. Yeah, okay. So what I posed, what is the point of the sim? If this is
I can't
divine,
see with the light on.
okay, here we go.
I'm on live.
So the question I asked is, let's see, let
I'm
me
on
share.
live. It's a little real bright. Okay.
Let me share. This is the comment I made, and I was hoping somebody had actually saw it and kind of like really thought about it or whatever. So what I said in here, I said, so what is the point of the sim, the simulation? If this is divine simulation, scripture is the code manual. So the scripture is, how does the system work?
Mm.
To keep the
That's the
system
code.
operational, that's the code manual.
Okay, that's the code. Okay.
Right. So, and then you look at the dreams and visions. Well, the dreams and visions come from who? The creator. That's the developer messages.
Mm-hmm.
The one that developed all of this, he's giving you the developer messages. And that's what we call dreams and visions. The Messiah is the access point or the debug tool. When there's something wrong, that one or that thing, that system comes in and can clean things up. That's the anointing. That's the Messiah. And then the end is a server reset. So when this system crashes, all the Most High gonna do is just say da da, and guess what? Esau reign is over with.
Facts.
And watch this here. What's the last scene in the movie The Matrix? A reset. Watch this here. I just thought about that.
Oh yeah, but you know what? A lot of the films and everything, it'd be based off of the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most of it is.
Most of the Hollywood films and stuff like that is based off of the book anyway. But it's just they take it and they they'll try to put a whole nother twist on it, but still the foundation of it be coming from the book.
Correct.
These are some of the
Correct. And that's what they do. But then see, they're wicked. So what they do, they split it and twist it.
Right. Like a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Look at this here on the screen. Can you see it on the screen? So when you look at it on the screen, you look at this on the screen. That's the movie, the last scene.
Yep. Trans opted receive carrier anomaly. Program
And that's
running.
the code.
Then the coding, right.
And what did he say? System failure. That's the reset.
That's the reset.
And remember, they was trying to trace, they was trying to do all this stuff, but guess what? Once the one, which is there's only one, Shema Yisrael, Yah Eloheinu Yah Akkad. There's only one. That's the Most High Yah. Once you get that one, he comes in and just reboosts the system.
That's right.
That's it. So now it's gonna be just that easy. See, Esau and the heathens think they can just run roughshod, and this gonna last forever.
It can't.
Right?
It can't.
But when you look at that system failure, the system failed, and then watch what happens.
Oh, I see that. Let me see that. Pull that up. Right there.
Behind the scenes, behind the screen. The one just spoke. That's all I just spoke.
Right. Right.
The one spoke. And guess what? Everybody that don't know him is oblivious to the one. But watch this here. Let's go back. It's going to be a woman in the background. Watch what she does. You see her?
She peeping.
She peeping.
Yep.
There's always one. There's always a handful that recognize the source, that recognize the one. But guess what? The vast majority are just walking around.
What they say? They're walking dead.
Let me see. The last Prime said, "Are you trying to prove something by using a movie?" Brother, we've been talking about this for the last, I don't know, if you just came in and you just saw this out of hour and 58 minutes and 42 seconds, if you came in and just caught the last 30 seconds, then it's just like a Quentin Tarantino movie. You ain't gonna know what's going on.
Right, no doubt.
But an hour and 58 minutes is too much to recap because you weren't here. But the broadcast will go live once it's over with. So if you look at what we're talking about is hell real. It's free will. We're talking about hell, free will, the lies you were told about this system. Everybody's trying to make it. And I got you. I'm not saying nothing wrong to you. I know you just showed up. I'm not saying anything wrong to you. I'm not attacking you or anything. I'm just saying.
Peace to you.
Yeah, peace to you, brother. I'm not saying anything like that. I don't do that. I don't do the attacking and stuff like that. What I'm saying is everything in this system, there's two things you can look at the system. People are trying to acclimate to the system, and the people that are smart are trying to get away from it.
Right, I'm escape.
Oh, true. I'm I understand everything. I'm not saying that properly. I got you. But like I said, when you sit down and look at this scene, that's always, because remember, okay, this scene, think about this for a second. I want y'all to really think about when you look at a movie. When you look at, and I'm not trying to use this movie as if this is, we're not replacing the Bible. We're not saying that Neo is God, that Keanu Reeves is God. Yeah. No. What we're saying is that when you look at these movies, you might just look at this last scene right here, and you might just say, okay, it's the scene. No, it's not. It took money to produce this.
Facts.
Which means it's important to be shown.
Right.
Just like an after credit scene. When the movie's over with, the words go up and the cast and all that, and then they show another scene. There's a reason they're showing that.
That's right.
So when you look at this, once the one is on the scene, there's people that recognize the one. But here's the deal. They don't go interact with him. But the vast majority of people are just doing what? Walking right past the one. And they're oblivious. And notice this. The one is just like, okay, you're not right. Let me leave. Just let me leave. And that's what I mean.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Man, they got eyes that can't see, ears that can't hear,
right.
heart that can't understand.
So when you look at it from that standpoint, that's it. And you see this one here that came out 2 years, Matrix Resurrections, the ending scene. Look at what it says. The Matrix Resurrections. And you see at the last scene, what is rising in that sky? What is that? What is that? That's that same black cat from the first one, Deja Vu. But the sun is right. And look at Trinity. Trinity, hold on, let's go back. What is that behind Trinity's head?
Sun.
You can't even see her face. See, all this is intentional. Listen, all of this is intentional. And look, the sun is out, right? Look at the architect. That's another version of it. Now, see, what scientists will tell you is that, man, it seems like catastrophes keep hitting the earth and the system keep resetting. That's what they teach. They teach that the system keeps resetting. Right? The system keeps resetting and rebooting. They'll say something like a flood came, and then mankind started over. They'll say an ice age came and mankind started over. Right? They'll say, and they keep giving it. They'll say an asteroid hit and everything started over.
Well, never
But
give no
it's
credit
just,
to the creator.
and watch this here. And what do they to this very day call what they're trying to do to us right now? They call it the great what?
Reset.
The great reset.
Facts. But all that's really talking about is all that's really talking about is when y'all bring about Zion. That's all that's talking about.
That's all. And in the movie, what was Zion? That was the place where the homegrown children of Israel were born, that didn't have plugs, that were never a part of the system. They were never a part of the system.
They get it all from the book, man. They get it all from the scripture.
But then they twist it.
They just twist it so the unlearned can just look at, oh, it's a movie. That was a wild movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The last prime said only the flood was biblical. Well, that's correct. Remember, you're right. Only the flood is biblical. But remember, when you say biblical, you're just saying Bible.
Right. Journal.
Yeah. It doesn't. What I mean by that is this. We live by the words of the Creator, not the Bible. We don't live by the Bible because the Bible. Because last time I checked, Thomas Nelson has his own Bible. Sundervan has his own Bible.
TDJ's got one.
TD has his own Bible.
TD, I'm sorry, my bad. TD Cakes. My bad.
I'm pretty sure Creflo probably got some kind of study Bible or something.
Thanks.
1 second, let me check. Let me just check just to make sure.
So okay, check it out. So Zach, you got these two different stories wound up in. They put a binder around it and put on the outside Holy Bible. But if we understand what these words mean, set apart journal.
Exactly.
Is that what that's saying? Think about it.
No, that's what it's literally saying.
Right.
Or set apart collection of books.
Set apart collection of books. Right.
Whatever you want, how you want to look at it.
Right.
So when I was telling him, so when it says only the flood is biblical, yes, but remember, I have these in my ceiling. I have these lights I install, right? These are different lights. These are not just like light bulbs. These are the long lights, right? Fluorescent bulbs, right? They exist. They're not in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? They exist, Brother Last Prime, but they're not in the Bible. Light bulbs are not in the Bible. Neither are Stanley mugs. Neither are cell phones.
Or PS3s.
Or PS3. Because remember, the Bible is not trying to tell you about everything that has ever happened. It's telling you about the important things of a people. And when you look at those important things that manifest with those people, just like Adam and Eve had multiple sons, right? And daughters, but it only mentions 3.
Right, because the story revolved around them.
Yeah, Cain, Abel, and Seth. But if you go to Genesis, it says that Adam had many sons and daughters. It don't even mention any women because they're not pertinent. Not that women are not important. They're not pertinent to the story.
Right, to the particular story, right.
Yeah. Hey, Turk, can you break down that props in the book of Micah where we're back in the land and some robots or whatever come to take the 7 principal men and attack our people in the future? Yeah, I was talking about that. Let me see something. I think Josh, and that's my brother YHWH, Josh. How can I word it? I'm gonna look it up. How can I word it? I just mentioned the scripture the other day. I don't know how it slipped in my mind. Let me try to find it this way. Joel, there we go. Here we go. Joel chapter 2. I don't know. I knew that.
Okay, hold on.
I knew
Let's look
that.
at
Okay.
that.
So let me go to Joel chapter 2. I knew that.
Joel chapter 2.
All right.
All right, man. What's the
So, okay, here we go. This is Joel chapter 2. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, they have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them. So these things, we're going to get to the bottom of it, but these things coming, everything in front of them, when we're in the land, it looks like Eden. But when they get through going over it, it looks like what? A desolate place that's been burned. Right? Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. See that? It says the appearance of them are as horses, and as horsemen, so now not just horses, but horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Meaning they loud. Well, listen, when you got battle array on, you hear chicka, 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 chicka. When people doing like hitting the shields and stuff, that's metal. Nobody goes into battle array with cotton candy or mittens on, clapping soft. You have on armor, right? And it says,
they ain't wearing linen.
Right, they ain't wearing. You won't go out there with no shirt on, with a white beater, and some sandals and some flip flops. You gonna get dealt with, right?
It's over.
It says, before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. Okay, so before their face, before these things, whatever they are, that sound like metal clanking. It says they sound like the noise as a strong people sit in battle array. So let me, before I go here, I want to show something real quick, okay? I want to show you something real quick. And I'm gonna hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
What's that? Hold on. What is this? Let me see.
Okay, here we go. So now, let me go back. Let me show this. Stop. Share screen. Everybody's seen the movie Troy before, and I like to. And let me tell you, the reason I use movies is not because of anything nefarious. It's because I know most people have seen certain things, and this is why it's this. You remember these things more than words. You know, you remember things you've seen, like the movie 300. Everybody know that Leonidas kicked somebody in the chest. Like, you just know that. You see what I'm saying? But if I ask you about the robots that's in rank and file in the book of Joel, what are you talking about?
Right.
So now check this out. Listen to what happens.
Spit is mine, man.
Now, did y'all hear all that clanking and all that?
Mm-hmm. Armor.
Those are people in battle array. Array is what you wear. So those are people hitting shields and spears and chink chink, and all you hear is chink. That's metal. That's metal on metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, brothers, he said, why is it that sound is the most important reoccurrence in the Bible? It goes from Genesis to Revelation, because sound is how everything is created. Sound is frequency. When you look in the scriptures, the Most High says that the stars sing, right? But we don't hear it, but it is a sound.
No doubt.
It doesn't mean we can't pick it up. Just like
dogs hear things that we can't hear.
Certain things. But when you look at the Creator, that's what I was saying earlier when I brought up how in the beginning the Most High says, "Let there be light." He didn't sit there and go make some light bulbs and tinker and make. He just said, "Let there be light. Let there be wisdom and understanding." And he said, "Let there be." He didn't make no sun and ball it up and throw it up in the sky. He just said, "No, let me create the sun and let me stars." And then he asked Job, "Do you know how I did it?" But he told him I did. He just said it. He just said it. So that's the point of sound. That's the whole point of sound. That's why I'm showing you, as far as in, like, even with this, the battle array, I'm showing you what the verse is saying, that whatever these things are, like horses and horsemen, they're running and leaping on mountains. Anything in front of them is green and bountiful, but by the time they pass over it, it looks like a wilderness wasteland. And it sounds like fire cracking stones and cracking brick. That's what it said, right? That's what I remember it saying. It said like stones, like fire cracking the shaft or whatnot. Let's see. Here we go. Verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble. When you hear wood and stuff crackling and you burning something, right? Campfire. As strong people sit in battle array, before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like a mighty hunter. Now notice what it says. They shall climb walls like men of war. Meaning they're not men of war. They're going to climb walls like men of war. It didn't say they're going to climb walls because they're men of war. They're going to climb them like men of war. What does the word like mean?
Right. That's a simile. That's a metaphor. It's a comparative. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Right? So when you look at that, like men of war, they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Hold on. So you're telling me whatever these things are, it's going to stay in perfect line. No matter what happened, they don't break rank. Climb walls like men. I mean, they're not men.
All right.
Right? The Most High said in Psalm 82 verse 6, "For I have said, ye are gods, and all your children the Most High, but you shall die like what?"
Die like men.
Like. The comparison was, you're gods, your powers, rulers, magistrates. You're not the Most High. You're not the creator, but you're gods.
Right. You're Elohim in the sense of judges,
you're
rulers,
Elohim.
and magistrates. In the sense of rulers,
judges, magistrates. Exactly.
Right. Or
but
being
you shall die like men.
Like men.
So now it says they won't break their ranks. Y'all done seen the movie Terminator, bro? Art imitates art. That's all it is. They're showing you what they're going to do. They're showing it to you. Because you think Terminators came, and listen, when somebody said it up top, they talked about the Matrix, Sophia Stewart, and Terminator. Because in Terminator, who is JC? John Connor. He's the one. If you really pay attention to that movie, Neo is the one. Neo is at a war with who? The machines. John Connor is in a war with who? The machines. It's the same story.
Come on.
It's the same story. You think John Connor just so happens is JC and he's the child of prophecy and they go back in time to save him?
Yeah, they tell that story in so much in different anime films.
Correct. Almost all animes have it. Yeah.
All anime films is this. That's the foundation of most anime.
The child of prophecy, Naruto.
Facts. That's facts.
Right. So, and then you get a false one where they think it's gonna be Nagato, but it turns out it's really Naruto Uzumaki.
Right. And
Nagato is the one trying to destroy everybody, right? And then they got the Rinnegan Reaper where he brings everybody back to life. Remember? So now it says, and they shall march everyone in his ways. They shall not break ranks, right? Now check this out. It says, neither shall one thrust another, meaning they can't even hurt one another. Ain't no friendly fire. Ain't no friendly stabbings. Ain't no friendly fire. Why? Because it's machine based. But let's keep going. Maybe I'm wrong. We just heard they climb like men, but they're not men. We just saw that they walk in their path. They don't break ranks. Everybody know when you start shooting, the first thing you do in the military is what? You start getting for cover. They don't do that. And it said they sound like battle array. I just played the movie when they're hitting swords and shields. It's metal. That's what it said they sound like when they're doing their thing. They running. So watch this here. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Now you explain to me, what man can I stab in the gut and he won't be wounded?
Come on now.
But don't we see that when the biker in the movie Terminator put the cigar out on him, he don't even flinch. When they stab him with the knife, he don't even flinch. When they shoot him and knock skin off his head, he don't flinch. He just keep coming. As Kyle Reese said, you can't bargain with it. And guess what? I'm going to show you something. Because, see, people think this is a game, right? Now, remember, when I told you Gorilla Hebrew wasn't an Israelite, and when I told you he was homosexual, y'all thought I was joking. And I called it months before. Josh, you're there. Didn't I call it many moons ago that this man was a homosexual and he was not an Israelite? And now he's came out last week and told y'all he's given up the faith. I don't know. How do you give up a bloodline?
He's giving up the faith.
He's been out there on the street corners arguing for years that it's a bloodline thing. So somehow he done took all his blood out and made a blood transfusion. I'm just saying.
Hey, man.
Okay, so now it says, check this out. Neither shall one thrust, but they shall walk in the path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in the windows like a thief. I mean, they're just climbing all over the doggone place. Y'all done seen not I Am Legend. Y'all done seen iRobot.
Yep, facts. Hallelujah.
Watch this here.
This is he said he done gave up. He done gave it up.
Watch this here.
Human in danger. Human in danger. Human in danger.
Rank and file. Oh, did he say rank and file? They won't break their rank?
No.
You saw how they came around that corner running the line? Let's keep going a little bit.
And look, hey, Zach. Zach.
Hold on. Did y'all see the one climbing like a thief coming on the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at it again. Look at him at the top up there. They getting wounded, shot, and still coming. They shall be thrust through. And guess what? They will still come. Now listen, I'm literally reading that whatever these things are in Joel chapter 2, they're like men, but they're not. They climb walls like thieves coming into a, they run, they in single file, they don't break rank. And then they attack.
Mm-hmm.
They're climbing all on the buildings, going in windows, and you see it here. But watch this here. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna bring it on home. I'm gonna show you something.
Return to your homes. Return to your homes immediately.
And look at the people. Look at the people.
Mm-hmm.
They unorganized. Ain't no rank and file here, because that's not human nature. Even when you go back and look at them old movies, yeah, they start off rank and file till them bombs and cannons start hitting. Then everybody start moving and ducking.
Mm-hmm. The British tried it. It didn't work.
It don't work. It's a great thing for life kill, and I'm gonna explain life kill as well. Look at the difference. Look at the disorganization and anger and emotion, and look at the efficiency of the robots up top. And look at the guy running past. Look at the people right there running past out to the screen to the right. They getting shot and they still walking forward. Is that not what Joel 2 just said?
Facts.
Don't y'all also find it funny in this movie, I, Robot, there's an Israelite?
Yeah, that's saving everybody.
But they got to save everybody. But they take the Israelite and make him half what?
Right.
They got to always pervert it. They always got to pervert it. Yeah. Joshua said both the Terminator and the Matrix were both, yep, written by Sister Bill Stewart. And you know, YHWH says Joshua facts, and here we go. So now watch this here. It's almost over with. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna do the rest of this verse. Watch this here. All right, so that's that, right? Now watch this here. Keep thinking it's a game.
It's not.
Keep thinking it's a doggone game. Keep thinking it's a game.
Mini versions. He ain't coming in. Look at him. Is it coming
It's in the hood. It ain't taking nowhere else from the hood.
Yeah, he's coming over here. Oh, it's the in the thing coming this way. He walking back. And look at the kids. Look at the kids. The kids are in love with it.
She said, what? Look at the
kids in love with it.
Kids in love with it. Next your question. Look at the person that dropped it. He said, Elon Musk robot spotted in the hood in Detroit. Amongst Israel. So guess what? It is. So guess what? If the Most High comes and saves us within the next 5 years, and I'm 10 years old, I'll be 15. If I get back to the land, and now I'm in the land 2 years old, and these things come attack us like it talks about in Joel chapter 2, my fondest memory is in Detroit in the hood, these things doing what? Being friendly. It is not being murderous.
Right.
But notice you got two Israelite women sitting there talking, and what they saying?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my Lord.
Elon Musk has arrived. He has arrived, and this is his army.
Oh, hold on. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep.
The woman said, and this is his army.
She's right.
Delta Ruth said, Zekiah, you know, we always the first to get tested. Listen, bro. Listen, I know it sounds strange, but look, I did not murder him. That's what it is. And guess what? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. When you go back and look at the Amalekite Edomite Jews, Ashkenazi, back in the day, they are the God, they honor and worship the God of what? Forces. Meaning military might.
That's right.
Okay? This is why they don't let nobody inspect their nuclear facilities, but Iran can't have one.
Oh, yeah.
Iran has let people come in to check what they have. And the people have literally said they are not making a nuclear bomb. I can show y'all articles. They've been saying Iran been making a nuclear bomb for the last 50 years.
50 years.
But I can show you in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, early 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, and guess what? Now they're still saying what? They're this close to a bomb.
Yeah, they've been this close forever.
They're this close. But then when the people go in and look, no, they're not making one. But then they sit there and say, well, Israel, you got them. You won't let us go in at all. Definitely hit right on the head. Propaganda. Now look at this here. Look at this little thing. She said, Elon Musk army. And she don't even know what she's saying, really.
She don't.
This is the small version right here. That's crazy. This is the baby version of the police. Look at he's waving at them.
She said, "Oh, the police."
Oh my goodness. He's waving at the kids. Got the kids in love with it.
See that?
And it's going to snatch their mama and daddy.
Now listen, she don't even realize how prophetic she is. Let's go back to Joel. She don't even realize how prophetic she is. Gonna snatch their mama and who? Mamas and daddies. Let's go back to Joel. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the house. They shall enter at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, and for he is strong that execute the word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Right. Therefore, also now, saith Yah, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart, and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repent him of the evil, who knoweth if he will return and repent, and leaving a blessing behind him, even a meat offering and a drink offering to the Lord your God. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly. It's going down. Hey, come, hey, let's fast. It's time to fast and mourn now. It's time to fast and talk to Yah. Blow the trumpet. The people need, this is what I said, verse 16. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber and the bride out of her closet. Let the priest, the ministers of Yah, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Yah, and give not thine heritage reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their God? Then will the Lord be jealous for his land and pity his people. Yea, the Lord will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and you shall be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach amongst the heathen. That hadn't happened.
No, it doesn't. No, it
It's
hasn't.
still a reproach.
Exactly.
But watch this. But I will remove far from you the northern army, and will drive him into the land barren and desolate, and with his face toward the sea. And with his face toward the sea, it says, with his face towards the sea.
Let's see. His hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things.
You see that?
Yeah. Con.
So now we see that we being attacked.
Man.
We being attacked by something that you stab and can't die. And what did the Most High say? This is where it says, and you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass after that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And that's the 7 principles. We're gonna go to the 7 principal men real quick. And also upon the servants, upon the handmaids, no days will I pour out my spirit. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. And the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of Yah come. The day, not days. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yah shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. The remnant, the remaining. So now we see this. These are things that are breaking. They can't break rank. They get stabbed. They don't die. Because remember, the Most High said that when we go back to the land, we were going to turn our swords into what? Pruning hooks. Our spears into pruning hooks, and our swords into plows. Meaning we ain't got no weapons, because we live in comfortable, and we in a place with no borders, right? But then all of a sudden these things come to attack us. Right? So watch this here.
What's that, 5?
Micah 5 and 5.
Oh, Micah 5 and 5.
I'm gonna just go to Micah 5, and I go to the whole deal. There we go. Because remember, when you look here at the Assyrian captivity happened in the 8th century BCE, which is 722 BCE. Micah wasn't a prophet at that time. Micah hadn't even been born. So we know he ain't talking about that Assyria. Now, Syria is Iraq. Because see, when we go back to that land and we start tearing down them Dome of the Rocks and all those churches and all that stuff is idolatry. You got to come out of the land. Yeah, well, guess what's gonna happen? What you think gonna happen when you tear down that gold, that Dome of the Rock?
They're coming in on you.
Verse 1. Now gather thyself in troops, O daughter of troops. He have laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Israel with a rod upon the cheek. But thou, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though thou be little among the thousands of Yahudah, yet out of thee shall come forth one unto me, that is the ruler of Israel, whose going forth have been from the old, from everlasting. And that's so Bethlehem. That's JC. No, it's not. That's where Dawid is from. The house of Dawid. Therefore, he would give them up until the time that she shall travail have brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel. See, we're returning. And he shall stand and feed in the strength of Yah, in the majesty of the name of Yah his God, and they shall abide. For now he shall be greater to the ends of the earth. And this man shall be the peace, when the Assyrian shall come into our land, and when he shall tread in our palaces. Then shall we raise against him 7 shepherds and 8 principal men, and they shall waste the land of Israel with Assyria with the sword. Assyria is Iraq, and the land of Nimrod, Iraq, Babylon, in the entrance thereof. Well, nah, the land of Nimrod, because this is when we're back in the land. Because remember,
Oh, that's right.
watch this here. Verse 8, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people. That's where we are now. As a lion amongst the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks, who if he go through both tread it down and tear the piece, and none can deliver. See that?
Yep. We are in the wilderness of the people. We are in
the wilderness of the people. Ezekiel.
Facts.
Chapter 20. So now when we look here, it says, and they shall now watch this here. If you Google Micah, now remember the children of Israel the northern kingdom went into captivity in 722 BCE. Look, 722 BCE, northern kingdom. That's the 8th century BCE, 722. Yep. That's the Assyrian captivity. You see that? Ancient Israel. You see that? That's 722. Around 10 years after the initial deportation, the ruling city of the northern kingdom of Israel, Samaria, was finally taken by Sargon II and Shalmaneser V. You see that? Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hosea became his servant and gave him presents. That's the king at that time, Hosea, right? Hosea. Now watch this here. That's 722. Now watch this here. When you type in prophet Micah,
Micah. Okay. Ancient Israel, primarily known for his prophecy. Micah prophet.
See, they put him right here in the 8th century BCE at the same time frame, right? Hold on. Something's wrong with this, though. I'm going to show you. Watch this here. Something's wrong with this. If that's the case, did I move Joel? God darn, I moved Joel. Okay, I went over Joel. Okay, anyway, look, check this out. In Joel, we just read that when this stuff happens to us, we're going to be back in the land. Show me when 8 principal men in the 8th century BCE rose up and whooped the Assyrians. Where's that in the scriptures? Where's that? Remember, they took them in 722, and those that escaped came back to the land. They fled. They ain't whooped nothing. Because remember, if you read the story, it says that there was a war going on there. Not the Israelites. We didn't do nothing to them because remember, the kingdom of Judah was still in the land. But they took Samaria. But Samaria never whooped, or Judah never whooped the Assyrians. But that's what Joel Micah chapter 5 just said, that we was going to whoop them. Right? With 8 principal men, right? So let's go back to it.
Chapter 5. Okay.
See that? It says, but thou Bethlehem, Ephrathah. Well, Bethlehem is in the southern kingdom.
Though thou be
and
little.
It says, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel. Right? And this man shall be the peace when the Assyrians shall come into our land, and when he shall tread in our palaces. Hold on. What? Hold on. When did the Assyrians conquer Yehuda? Can somebody help me in the chat? When did the Assyrians conquer Yehuda? I must have missed that biblical class. Because I know they attacked the northern kingdom, but when did they come and attack Judah? They came to us. Hezekiah was like, bye, bye, bye. And the Most High said, look, don't worry about all that. He heard a noise, went back to his land and died. We never fought no Assyrians. Okay, let's see. Let's see right here. Let's see. Let's go here. What I told y'all about Hezekiah, right? Is it right here? I'm gonna go to the, we ain't going to no new century version, right?
Facts.
No central.
Come on now.
Central, bro. That's the
You
wrong answer.
wildin'.
All right. So let's search that. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 32. Watch this here. After these things and established thereof, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came and entered into Judah and encamped against the fenced cities and thought to win them for himself. And when Hezekiah saw that Sennacherib was come, that he was purposed to fight against Jerusalem, he took counsel with his princes and his mighty men and stopped the waters of the fountains which were without the city, and they did help him. So there were gathered much people together who stopped all the fountains in the brook that ran through the midst of the land, saying, why should the kings of Syria find much water? See that? You need water for an army.
Right.
Also, he strengthened himself and built up the wall that was broken and raised it up to the towers and another wall without, and repaired Millo in the city of David, and made darts and shields in abundance. See that? And he set captains of war over the people and gathered them together. Now let's just go on. Now what verse 7? Be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Syria, nor for all the multitude with him. For there be more with us than with him. Right? And with him is an arm of flesh, but with us is Yah, our strong one, to help us and to fight our battles. And the people rested themselves upon the words of Hezekiah, king of Yahudah. After this, did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, send his servants to Jerusalem. But he himself laid siege against Lachish, which is a Yehudite town, and all his power with him, unto Hezekiah, king of Yahudah, and to all Yehudah that were at Jerusalem, saying, thus saith Sennacherib, king of Assyria, whereon do you trust that ye abide in the siege of Jerusalem? Doth not Hezekiah persuade you to give over yourselves to die by famine and by thirst, saying, Yah, our strong one, shall deliver us out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Have not the same Hezekiah taken away his high places and his altars, and commanded Yahudah and Jerusalem, saying, ye shall worship before one altar and burn incense upon it? Now watch this here. We go down. He says, now therefore, let not Hezekiah deceive you, nor persuade you on this manner. Neither let believe him, for no God of any nation or kingdom was able to deliver his people out of my hand and out of the hand of my fathers. How much less shall your God deliver you out of my hand? And his servant spake yet more against Yah, the strong one, against his servant Hezekiah. And he wrote letters, what? To Israel, right? Speak against him. And then it says, then they cried with a loud voice to the Jews' speech and to the people. Now Hezekiah is going to say, hey, look, you talk to us in Hebrew. No, just talk to us in Aramaic. Because he didn't want the people to understand it's a different dialect. So watch this here. You read here, it says, and they spake against the God of Jerusalem as against the gods of the people of earth, which were the work of hands of men, idols. And for this cause, Hezekiah, the king, and the prophet Yeshaiah, son of Amos, prayed and cried to heaven. And the Lord sent an angel which cut off all the mighty men of valor and the leaders and captains in the camp of the king of Syria. So he returned with shame to face his own land. And when he was coming to his house of his God, they came forth of his own bowels, slew him there with a sword. Where are the 7 principal men here?
I'll see him.
It said an angel of the Lord cut off
Exactly.
the mighty men of valor.
Exactly.
Ain't no 8 principal men.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So what they talking about?
We can't do that New Century.
Man, they be wilding.
So, like I said, you look at Elon, you look at the robots, you look at what they're coming through. They're coming through rank and file. You stab them, they just keep coming. T1000, T800, right? They just keep coming because they're robots. And then you see the woman said what? Prophetically, she said, this is Elon's army. Now, why am I saying this? I brought up something earlier about the Edomites. I made a statement. I said, when you go back and look, the Edomites and the people that were here, they were selling arms to the natives, the red natives, so-called red natives, right? When they gave them the one-shot rifle, they had the carbine repeater. When they gave them the carbine repeater, they had the minigun. See, Esau never gives you the equal weaponry because he worships the God of forces. Right? So why am I saying this? Hezekiah, you took us all around the world. What I took you to show you that in Micah chapter 5, 8 principal men and the men of valor, they're going to whoop these people the king of Assyria. That never happened there.
Exactly.
Back then, Hezekiah, who I'm named after, you call him Hezekiah, and Yeshaya, who you call Isaiah, they cried out to Yah, and Yah saved them with an angel. There were no 8 principal men there. So now we know when we go back in the land and the land is peaceable, now we see now, okay, I see what's going to happen.
Right.
We see in Joel that these in the day of the Lord, you see these things climbing like thieves, just climbing all over the city and cranking, and they walking in single file line, and you stab them, they don't go down. And then that woman just told you, oh, this is Elon's army. Now, why did I bring up Esau and the carbine, the single shot rifle, the musket? You know, you right there, like bop, 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 bop. See, the musket was first. When they created the carbine rifle, Esau sold the natives the what? The musket. Give him the 1 shot, and we got the carbine. Listen, we give him a 3 shot. We get to repeat it. Kick, pow, kick, pow, kick, pow. He don't have that.
Yeah, they're not gonna give you their best weapons.
Right. So guess what? When you look at this, say that again. What you just said? They're not gonna give you what?
They best weapons, never.
And guess what? They also not gonna show you their best robots.
Facts.
Now, check this out. And this is a weapon. And then them old black women, I don't know if they're old, but those so-called black women, they're literally calling it a weapon. They're saying that that's his army.
Right.
Now watch this here.
What's that? Boston Dynamics. Oh yeah.
Listen, this is what they're showing you. The doggone thing can flip, man.
All right, I'm at CES in Las Vegas, and I'm at the Hyundai booth. Check out their autonomous robot dog. Look at that thing. This thing moves like a real animal, man. It's so smooth. Hops and runs and walks. That is actually really cool and scary at the same time.
Why is it scary?
The head is actually a grabbing arm.
See it.
Can you imagine this thing made for combat? Like if it had infrared and night vision.
Listen, I just picked a random video. This man said, can you imagine this thing for combat?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that thing right there made out of metal just run 45 miles per hour and hit you in the damn legs?
You're done for.
You ain't gonna have no more wheels. Your wheels are gone. See, and now listen, don't not only that, give it a stun gun, give it bullets. Give it bullets. Give it a pistol on the back of it. Give it a rifle on the back of it. Put a Barrett 50 cal on the back of it.
Facts. They got the one beast robot dog in the military. They got him in the snow. Hey, wow. What? A weapons
that thing can have robot sex. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. See, listen, and remember, that's not Esau's best.
No, it's not. That's what they're
That's not
showing
Esau's
us.
best.
Well, this is actually a real thing, and I'm not sure if it's the coolest thing I've ever seen or if it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. This is the Atlas robot by Boston Dynamics, almost 30 years in the making, and this is the test bed for future military robotics.
Hold on. The test bed for what? Did you hear him?
Say what?
Did you hold on? Did you hear what he just said?
No, I ain't hear that.
Hold on. Watch what this guy says.
You gotta turn the sound up.
Dynamics, almost 30 years in the making, and this is the test bed for future military robotics. I mean, the child inside me is like, wow, that is so friggin' cool. But the other part of me is thinking, this is the Atlas robot.
Now Esau don't want to be heard. Hold on. What's going on? So check this out. This, if you don't hear it this time, let me turn it up. If you don't hear it this time, I'm gonna repeat what he says, and you guys can. Matter of fact, let me see something. Share, copy. We'll do this the player way. So if people want to see it, they can literally go back and listen. When I say this, they'll know that I wasn't lying.
Back.
Okay. So this is I'm gonna play it. This is what he says.
By Boston Dynamics, almost 30 years in the making, and this is the test bed for future military robotics. I mean, the child inside.
For future what? Military robotics. Delta Roots. I don't think they 20 years ahead of us. I think they more like 100 years ahead of us. Think about it. The concept of the cell phone was around in Vietnam. If you really think about it, that backpack they had on, that was in Vietnam. Calling that. Come on. That's what, listen. Now, I don't believe this, but remember, look at the cell phone, right? But what did they say about on the moon? They on the moon talking to us here on Earth, 200,000+ miles away accordingly. What they doing there with? But I was at the new job I started, and I walked into my office in the back, and I lost signal on my phone. But all decades ago, right? Decades ago, 70 years ago, they was talking to people here 250,000 miles away. But I lose cell phone reception when I drive through the country. And I'm not saying they actually went to the moon. I'm just saying that they want you to believe. But like you're right, these things are old. These things are old. Now I'm gonna show you something before I log off. I don't know where my brother Tim went, but I'm gonna show you something. Now this is not real, okay? But I'm showing this to you because I want you to see it for where it's headed. Okay. So check this out.
Right on in.
Now, this is not real, but I think watch this. Now, that's how they actually made it. So I'm not saying that it's real, okay? I'm not saying that's real. What I am saying, though, is that, oh, hold on one second. I'm not saying that's real. What I am saying is that that's how it's going to be. Like I said, when you read in the scriptures, there's something that is able to sound like chariots when it's coming, but it's not a chariot. And it can be stabbed, but it can't die. And it walks in rank, single file, but it doesn't devoid it. No matter when it gets injured, it don't die. It just keep coming forward. Then you look at the movie I, Robot, and then you look at how they put an Israelite there fighting against it, which is the same thing in Joel chapter 2. Right? When you look at all of this stuff and how you see how they was climbing all over the place, like they was coming in like they thieves, climbing all through the windows and all this other stuff, just like Joel said. And it goes right over everybody's head because they just remember, I did not murder him. And they don't even realize that. And then the sister see. Now remember that movie came out, I, Robot. Look how agile that robot was. And then look at how they're doing it now, how agile these robots are now. And then now, from looking how agile they are, look at how this robot is able to walk, do all this stuff, and now he out there waving at children. Out there waving at children. And they put the test robot and got a guy down there taking pictures of him, and they put him right in the hood. Amongst Israel.
They need to be learning how to override their computer systems. But that's a whole nother story.
And keep in mind, nobody voted for these cameras that's on every corner, street corner.
Nobody. They just stuck them up there.
I remember 25 years ago. I remember 25 years ago when we didn't even have no street. We didn't have any cameras here.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, we didn't even have any cameras. I remember seeing Britain like they crazy doing that over there. Let them do that over there. And now you can't go nowhere without a camera at every intersection.
Facts. And
then they show you in the movies, not just that, the FBI come in and say, there's a bank across the street. Pull the footage from that camera. Right? They're showing you. They're telling you. They're telling you.
And then they got the people buying Ring cameras for their house, and you can't walk down the street.
They can be hacked. And then they're using your Ring camera, and they'll come and ask you and say, hey, did you get footage of this? And listen, if I'm mistaken, in the contract, they can commandeer that footage.
Right. But if it's like a crime or something, they can commandeer it.
Yeah.
No problem.
So it's right. It's all here. But you know what the problem is? The problem is everybody waiting to see when they look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. But it's already here.
It's already here. It's already here. They was getting you, me, all of us prepped for it. And now they just throwing it in our face. Like AI, John Connor, JC, Sarah Connor, right? And she was always warning people about what? Cyberdyne and AI. And what everybody doing today? Hey, man, AI, bro. Every phone come out now got AI. So listen, Skynet, right? You're already here. The Matrix, you're already in the Matrix. You're already, that's why I keep saying, everybody's waiting on the Antichrist to show up. Lewis is the Antichrist. Anything about this, Lewis is against. Facial recognition. Yeah, anti-Yah. And Yah's people. Facial recognition software. Let me see something.
They can bring up print, palm scan, and all of that.
Yep. Let me see. Humans are living souls. Then what are clones? That's what I'm saying. If humans are living souls, right? Now we'll put it like this here. A clone still has to have the breath of life, right? Because nothing can be animated without the breath of life. It can't be alive unless it has the breath of life. But the problem is, Yah doesn't recognize it. Because, yes, it's alive, but Yah didn't ordain it. Like, Yah sent Delta Roots here. Yah sent Tim here. Yah sent me here. How do we know? Because we came the way all men come.
Right.
When you start trying to clone stuff, that's totally different. That is not Yah. That's not of Yah. That's why they start trying to, like, you see a lot of these Edomites talking about they started selling clone pig meat and said it was clean.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Josh said, but how will the principal men defeat these robots in the land? No, the principal men are the ones that are gonna rally. Like eight people can't defeat an army, but the 8 people, just like we just read the story in Micah, in Chronicles about Hezekiah, how Hezekiah was like, look, y'all don't listen to that, y'all with us. And then the people said, it said the people listened to him, and then it says Hezekiah and Isaiah started crying out to the Lord, and then the people came together as a great multitude. What did it say in Joel? Come together, cry out. So now when we do that, now Yah starts to come with us, for us, against us.
Right, on our behalf.
Yeah, and we see now where the Most High said what? And the feeble and the weak shall be like who? David. Now you know David was a bad boy. And then and then the YNs, the YNs shall be like the angels. So it says, hold on, let me show you real quick. And we can end it there or whatever. So this is what you're asking about. Zechariah chapter 12.
Hold on. Let me get that.
Verse 8.
Zechariah 12.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 8. Let's see. Let me share my screen real quick. There we go.
All right, burden of Yah.
Yep. And in that day shall Yah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Notice keep saying in that day, not days. Why? Because all these people are talking about the same day. Now, I'm not saying that things in the past didn't happen. Of course, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying in that day, the Lord shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Meaning, if you weak and sickly, you're going to be like David. And remember, whatever the Most High says can't return void.
Now, so Yahweh shall be as Yah, and the angel of Yah before them.
You see that?
Yep. And then that shall come to pass in that day, I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem.
But that hadn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
So now you asked, you said, so when they pray, Josh, when they pray and they cry out, just like Hezekiah and Isaiah cried out with the people, and the Most High came through. So now when this stuff is happening, how do we defeat them? In Joel chapter 2, it said we cried out.
Cry out.
Let me show you real quick.
It said, rend our hearts, not our garments. Right?
Right. Exactly. So Joel chapter 2. I didn't even want to use this one. What's not?
You good?
Here we go. All right. Joel chapter 2. Right here. So look what it says right here. See this here? Therefore also now, verse 12.
Turn even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart.
Yeah.
And not your garments, and turn unto Yah your strong one, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. Facts.
Ain't that what it said in Micah? That Isaiah them cried out and cried out to the Most High, and he heard them.
They didn't say they picked. They didn't say they picked up an AK-47.
Right. Because we already heard that if you stab them, don't nothing happen.
There it is.
So now the Most High go put that the Most High. What did David say? The Lord teaches my hands to war. So now when the Most High give us the knowledge and understanding, you go out there and slap one of them head off.
Facts.
Because the feeble shall be like David, and the house of David shall be like who?
Yeah.
The angel, Yah, and the angel of the Lord.
And the angel of Yah.
Right. Josh said, Delta said facial recognition, they said it was banned in New Orleans. Right. You know, they got doggone where they're using that facial recognition software.
Come on.
They cloned Tyrone. They were showing us in the movie. Right. Listen, that's what the movies are for. The movies are to get you to be acclimated and think this is normal. Because listen, I don't know if I told y'all this story about this what I saw when I was in high school. One night, I swear, this is crazy. I was watching Highlander. I was showing Highlander earlier. And I was going to the store. It was nighttime. So I was at home. I was like, I want to go and get me some snacks from the store. So I was in high school, like my junior year. And I can call my wife in here. She'll tell y'all this right now. She's not even in here. As y'all can see, like, ain't nobody in here but me, right? Ain't nobody in here but me. I could call my wife if she's still up. I don't know if she's still up or not, and she'll tell y'all. So this is what happened. This true story. I'm at the house watching Highlander. It's probably like about 9-ish, almost 10 o'clock. Back then, Martin had just went off. I was in high school. So I was like, man, I want to go to the store. The store was probably like a quarter mile from my house. I could literally walk out my gate, walk about 60 feet, 70 feet, make a left down the street, all the way down the street, maybe like 100 yards, and I'd be at the store. Right? It wasn't that far away. And but on Mervyn Street, let me see if I can show that real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Because this is crazy. Like, this happened to me. And like, that's why I say I'm never gonna dismiss clones. Okay, so this literally is the house I grew up in right here. Okay. This is the house I grew up in right here. This house right here. Okay. Now, remember I just told y'all I could go, it used to be a gate and everything here. I could go out my house and then I could go about 60 feet and then make a left. Now watch this here. Remember, that's my house right there by the speed limit sign, right? And that's the left right there. Okay. Now, when I go down this street here, this is called Ellison Street. I would go down this street. That's the church I grew up going to. And this deal here.
Lone Star Baptist Church.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be the future home of Lone Star Baptist Church. And that was there when I was 6 years old. And there's no home there. There's no church there. All right, so let's keep going.
Hell no.
So I go all the way down this street to the very end right here. Now I'm gonna show you that building over there, past over here, top of that top of that van right there. That building right here.
Right.
Is the store.
Right.
So you can see that's Ellison Street right there, where that fence is with that gray. Are y'all able to see this? Okay, yeah, y'all can. Good. So this is how I would really come to the store typically.
Right.
Okay. And let me go back to the map. So I'm gonna show you what I did this time though. Okay. No, I didn't want to see it. Give me the road. Can I click on it? All right. Well, okay, listen. So you see this. You can see the street, right? Okay, so let me see, make sure it's on there. Okay, yeah. It's kind of small, but let me see something I can do it this way. I'm gonna maximize it. All right. Probably can see it now. So 39 feet, that's my house right there. That's Ellison Street I was showing you guys, right? So now I typically would go down here, like I just showed you guys, and then That's the store right there. That's the store right there. 3997.
Oh,
Instead,
Kelly.
yeah, Kelly Key. Yeah, exactly. Instead, I left my house here. And instead of going this way, it was drizzling. It was literally drizzling. I put a trench coat on. And I literally went this way. I passed Ellison Street. That first corner, I passed Lucille Street, and I went to Carl Terrace Street. Carl Terrace. So I went this way, all the way down. Right here's Jerry's barbershop. So I went here. I wonder if I could go back to the street view or whatever. Well, anyway, I gotta show it to y'all so y'all can see it, and then I gotta show it to y'all. This is crazy. Let me see. Close that out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, boom. There we go. All right. I don't know why it says a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's not. That's weird. It's 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Anyway, all right. Okay, so here we go. All right. So I didn't go down this street here, Ellison Street, right? Instead, I went down this way. And then right here is Lucille Street. As you can see, that's Lucille Street. I didn't go down that street. I went down this street right here called Carl Terrace. Right here. I went the long way. Okay? Right here. Carl Terrace. That's Jerry's barbershop right there on the corner where I learned how to cut hair and the whole nine. Okay, so right here. So I go down this street. As you can see, there are no curves. Like a curve. You know what I'm saying? Like a curve. Like you walk on a sidewalk.
Right.
There are no curves. It's nighttime. It's drizzling. I'm not lying to y'all. This is what happened. So I'm on this side of the street right here. Right? I'm walking. Now remember, this is the corner. This is the corner right here. You see the corner? I turned and I came down this street. Now, you know, when you're going down the street, traffic is coming on the left-hand side because you drive on your right coming up. So as I'm coming about right up in here, can y'all see that mouse where I'm moving it? The arrow?
Yeah.
Okay. About right up in here, I'm walking here. I'm not walking on this side because if I walk on this side, a car can come from behind and hit me, and it's raining.
Right.
So I'm walking on this side.
Right.
Right? Right here where this arrow is. As I'm walking here, there's a dude coming down this way as well. Now it's drizzling. I'm not gonna walk in the ditch because it's dark.
Right.
I'm walking. I'm thinking he can see traffic coming that because he's coming towards me. I'm going back, so I'm thinking he's gonna get out the way. He doesn't get out the way. So as he's walking, it's dark. As he's walking, I walk. I look at him because I get out of his way. I step to the right in the middle of the street because he didn't want to move. Right. I kid you not. I have goosebumps. Think I can call my cousin. Hold on. I'll call my nephew right now. Check this out. I got goosebumps telling the story because I'm sitting there and this dude is walking towards me. This dude has on a trench coat. I have on a trench coat. The guy walks up to me. I step to the right because he won't get out of my way. You know, typically when you walk towards somebody, you kind of, you know, y'all kind of mutually respect each other and move out the way.
Right.
So I step farther in the street to the right because I'm thinking if a car come behind me, it'll hit me. You know, you're in the hood. People act crazy, right?
Exactly.
I am not lying to y'all. When I walked past him and I looked at him to the left, it was me.
You saw yourself?
It was me. And he smiled at me and showed all of his teeth. And as I'm walking past him, I'm just saying to myself, you have to kill him. And as he's walking past me, he's coming this way. He's coming this way right here, right? Coming, you know, he's coming this way, right? And I'm looking at him like this. And it's me. It's literally me. I'm not saying he looks like me. I grew up in this neighborhood. It's me. and he smiled. You know what it looked like? It looked like, you remember the movie Us?
Oh.
So if people don't understand this, when the movie Us came out, I did a breakdown of Us on Facebook. The reason it was so accurate is because I experienced it. Jordan Peele came on my Facebook page and thumbed up and talked about it.
Mm.
So now check this out. Didn't know we was gonna talk about this, but let me my nephew had called me. Let me see. Hopefully he'll answer. Let me see something. I know it's late, but then I'll end it with this. I'm gonna call my nephew. Hopefully he answers. Let me take the headphones, the Bluetooth off. Come on, Trevor. Hold on 1 second. Because here's the crazy thing. He just called me about 2 weeks ago and asked, he was on the phone with somebody. Hey, Trevor, hey, check this out. So this is my nephew. All right. Mm-hmm. So I'm online, Trevor. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear him?
Put him up a little closer. Yeah, that's
say something, Trevor. Say something.
What's up?
Can y'all hear him?
Yeah.
Okay. So Trevor, you called me about a week and a half ago with somebody on the phone. Why did you call me?
To ask you, do you remember that night?
That night of what?
When you walked home?
From going to the store, right?
Yeah.
And what happened?
You seen yourself?
Now, I was in high school.
Mm.
I was telling him I was in high school at this time. You was a baby. Right?
Yeah.
And now listen, you called me literally, and without saying anything to me, I answered the same way I did 20 plus years ago, right? With no fillers. You just say, hey man, you remember that night? And I gave you the whole story, right?
Yeah, because I said the wrong street.
Yeah, because he had said the wrong street. He thought it was Ellison. And I said, no, it was called Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on live. I was explaining to some of the people here on live how that when you called me, the first thing you said to me was, you said, you remember that night? Right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I said, you talking about the night I saw myself? Now remember, we hadn't talked about this in maybe 15, 20 years?
Well, yeah, a little minute, yo.
He called and said, you remember that night? And he had somebody on the phone. I said, you talking about the night I saw myself? And he was like, yeah. And I told him the whole story. Hadn't changed. I saw myself. Now watch this here. When I made that Facebook post, who came about the movie Us? Who came on my Facebook post?
Jordan Peele.
That's what I was calling you for. I saw you told me Hulk Hogan died, so yeah, I saw that earlier today. But I was at work today when you had hit me up. Yeah, all right, be safe. Love you. But listen, I didn't even know we was gonna talk about this today. We just started talking about like doppelgangers because of what he had just asked, right? Because I didn't bring up clones today. Delta just brought up clones, and I just read it, and he said humans are living souls. Humans are living souls. Then what are clones? And like I said, when I saw him, everything in my spirit said you got to kill him because he's gonna do something, and they're gonna think it's you. And when I'm telling you, he was like just like this, just smiling. Like, of course, I didn't have no beard or nothing, right? He's smiling, like just smiling, and he looks crazy, just like the movie Us. And as he's walking past me, and he keeps walking, and he's looking back, just like that, just looking at, smiling, with his showing all his teeth. And I stopped, and I was kind of like, I gotta get him, right? And he looked at me like this here, smiling, and just kept walking back, looking at me like this here. And he walked across the street into a field and just disappeared. Not disappear like disappear, but you know, like it's dark. He's
Right.
going through the field, and I'm not gonna chase him in no dark trail, because you know, like right here. Matter of fact, I can turn it around. I'll show you what a trail is. So back across the street, he passes me. Right? Hold on, let me see something. He passes me. And right here, so he's walking back looking at me. It's dark. And right here, you can't see it's a pecan tree right here. But right here, that's a trail through there.
Mm-hmm.
So now imagine it's dark. And if you look around here, it's raining, it's misty. That's a street light. But that street light is going to illuminate right here. It's not going to illuminate all in there. That's the only reason I didn't follow him. So when somebody then tell me, oh yeah, clones, etc., I know they are. I know they exist. I know they exist. Like that's not even something Delta Ru said you still have. Hold on, say something. He said, do children conceive through IV and have souls, and are they recognized by the Most High? Well, yeah, if you're alive, you got the breath of life, right? Mm-hmm. But it's the same thing. He said in vitro fertilization, it's the breath of life, because nothing can live without Yah's life, its essence. So yes, they have the breath of life to make them a living soul. The breath of life plus the body to make a living soul. It's still not natural. Right. But that's not a clone.
No.
That's somebody taking an egg and sperm and creating a child just without sex.
Right.
Right? Or what we call test tube babies, etc. Right? So you know, Robert Harris, you said what, test tube baby?
Test tube baby.
Right. So then Delta said, I thought you lived in Lafayette. Now I lived in Shreveport. I still live in Shreveport.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey man, appreciate you, bro. Y'all blessed to everybody here that came in tonight. I'm gonna go ahead, man, and call it.
Yeah, I gotta go to work in the morning. But I was just saying, I just want to show them that. And now Delta Ru, I had that breakdown of the movie Us, but my Facebook page. Listen, Zuckerberg don't like me. TRU, true down south, he'll tell you that. Like I be getting, man, if I show y'all, I be getting flagged for nothing, bro. Listen, I can't even say Negro on Facebook. If I type in Negro, I get flagged.
Yeah.
But people can type in Nigger and it's nothing. Nigga and it's nothing. I say Negro, flag. I be getting 45-day bans.
Well, you know, they always gonna be against Israel.
Right. Especially Israel that know who they are.
Exactly. Especially that's awakened to the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You are so you know that going in.
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't live in Lafayette, brother. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. So and I still like it's slow here. As you can see, that's the hood. It was like, and listen, here's the crazy part. Like where I grew up, man, when I told you when I was growing up, man, I remember my guidance counselor. When I went to school one day, my guidance counselor was crying because she thought I died. She thought I got shot. And then they was like, no, he was at school today. I saw him get off the bus. And she was like, no. He died last night. Blah, 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 blah. And then I go into the they was like, no, I saw him get off the bus this morning. And they was like, no, you're wrong. He died. He got shot last night. And da 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 da. And then they was like, no, I saw him get off the bus. So they called me to the office, called me to the guidance counselor because she was teaching the class. And then I knock on the door. I walk in, and she ran and hugged me and almost broke my neck, squeezing me, crying. And I said, what's wrong? And that's when she told me my best friend had got shot. She thought it was me. And we was like 7. This, like I said, used to be the murder capital of the world. And here's the crazy thing: it ain't even 200,000 people in the city.
That's wild.
And the murder capital of the world. Think about where Ham at, with child soldiers and all that other stuff, right? And it was the murder capital of the world. Delta, you said I know you got to go, but Delta, you said that was the same dude you saw. What do you mean? Are you asking me
Oh,
like
I know what he's saying.
what he's saying?
He was saying like, was that the same cat that you saw when you was walking down the road that got shot when your teacher thought it was you?
Oh no.
No, that
No,
was young. Yeah, you was younger.
I was young. I was young. Yeah, that was my friend
Okay.
Randy. That was my friend
Okay.
Randy.
Y'all just
That's
was
how I
y'all
thought
just
he got
was
killed.
right.
And I'm 7, and I'm like, what do you mean? He'll be at school tomorrow. He's just not gonna come today. I couldn't even wrap my head around it. I was like, he just didn't come to school today. And I literally thought like, okay, Randy will be at school tomorrow. And then I go look at it. I'm in the class, and it's, you know, we got a homeroom, and his seat is empty, and people are crying. I'm like, why y'all crying? Randy coming back to school. I even see, that's what I'm saying. As Yisrael, I was broken then. I didn't even know. And remember, we're talking about when I was 7, I'm 44. So 30 plus years ago, I didn't even know I needed counseling. That was just a 7-year-old dealing with grief. And I didn't go to nobody in my family and say, hey, my friend died. Because I didn't know. I didn't know what to say. I knew what death was, but I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. And how I found out was they thought I died. So think about that. You tell a 7-year-old, man, I thought you were dead. Oh, it was your best friend. Like, think about the trauma you just put on a child.
Exactly.
And I don't know what mental health is
at all.
Right. And I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, that was crazy. Like, you can't tell a child that.
No, you cannot.
Because in my head, I'm thinking, so, because I'm his friend. So in my head, I'm thinking, are you glad he dead? Because, my head, I'm a child. I can't wrap my head around, like, she's really happy that I'm alive.
Right.
But I, as a 7-year-old, I know I'm alive. But where's my friend?
No doubt.
You see what I'm saying? And that's Israel. I ain't did nothing, but that's what I was living with. And then I'm looking at cousins and stuff and all this stuff. I was like 10 when I walked through a trail. The example I gave y'all earlier about the dead body, that actually happened to me. I just didn't touch the body. I was 10 and walked through and saw my dead body. It was a guy an older man named Honey Bun. He was just laying down, face down. It was nighttime. I just walked through the trail and I saw him and I was like, is he dead? And I said, Honey Bun. I didn't know his real name. I said, Honey Bun, get up. He was laying. I knew he was dead because he was laying down, face down. His nose was in the dirt. You'd be breathing dirt in. I ran across the street and told my mom, I said, hey, Honey Bun dead. What? And she's like, I said, he's in the trail right here. He's dead. What? I said, yeah, he's dead. I just saw his body. Everybody come outside and they call the neighbors. Everybody come outside and I'm walking right to it. Just like, see, I'm 10. Now 7, my best friend died. 10, a grown man is dead and I see it. No counseling, no nothing. Right? I'm sitting there. And then when I was like 13, 14, my next door neighbor, her husband was found dead in a trail 4 houses down from our house. Just right, not the way we went to Ellison Street, but the other way. 4 houses down. Let me see. Yep, 4 houses down in a trail land. And that's the first time I saw a body bloated. Because he was a skinny dude, but he was bloated. And he had got killed. Right. And then when I was 16, I heard some gunshots, waited, came outside. I walked down the street, my friend James Brown, his name is James Brown, little James Brown. He had got shot in the mouth. He dead now. He got killed. But he got shot in the mouth and it went through and I was like, it knocked his teeth and stuff out and came on the side. And a neighborhood just gangbanger just shot him. We the same age. He was like he was 13, 14. Just shot him in the face. Tried to kill him, but it just hit him in the face, knocked all his teeth out. You see the hole. And I go down and I'm looking at him. He's down there just drooling and blood, and it's just like a hole in his jaw and his teeth missing. And now I found out he got killed. I'm like, man, I done seen so much and no counseling. That's why I say I can thank the Most High that with all the stuff I've seen growing up, I've been shot at multiple times. I ain't did nothing. Been shot at multiple times. Just walk to the store with my little brother, and boom, pow, pow, pow. I push him, get in front of him. Like if I get hit, I get hit.
Mhm.
You know, I'm protecting my little brother Michael. I get hit, it's fine. I hear bullets literally coming right. Don't know why they're shooting at us. Because the thing about it is, in the neighborhood I grew up in, my family was well respected, and my older brothers didn't play that, and we was all fighters. So it was like they had to have been shooting at us, me and my little brother and my friend, because they didn't know who we were. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, I walked to the store at night. Like, you know, so you feel kind of safe. You just walk to the store at night. But like I said, with that being the case, man, yeah, I'll probably come back on at another time. Well, definitely this weekend, y'all willingly. Because I want to go into something, into some more stuff dealing with some of the heresies and the stuff that you don't never hear people teach online, dealing with the free will. Because I want to go real deep into free will. Because once you understand the depth of free will, you realize we are in assimilation. It becomes painfully obvious that Yah is really in. Because think about it, when you say Yah is in control, you're really saying what? Yah is causing everything. And if Yah is causing everything, it's a simulation. You know, but it's our minds don't really fathom it because it's so grand, it's so detailed, it's so real. The simulation is so real that when we see a simulation, we think AI and computers. We don't think flesh and blood simulation. That's how cold y'all really is with it. Like this simulation, flesh and blood can be aware. Whereas in Esau's simulation, it's just computers and robots. You know what I'm saying? So,
but hey, the Amalekites, the some of those Amalekites, they do know this book, and they know
it.
they end.
They know it.
That's
what I'm
why
saying.
they doing. That's why what he said, he mad, angry, mad, crazy, right?
Mad, crazy, and that's what like you said, they know the book, and that's what the book of Revelation is about. I'm gonna do a breakdown on Revelation. That's what Revelation is about. Revelation is, I'm not saying it's real. It's their playbook that they want to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want it to happen. So then when you're starving and you ain't got nothing and you're broke and they done made you poor and destitute and AI done took over and all the jobs gone, then you're just willingly say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be beheaded for Christ because I read in Revelation that if I'm beheaded for the soul, I get a crown. And you're just gonna say, hey, take it, hell, take it. Because think about it, you're gonna see everything happening, right? So you're gonna automatically say, oh, this is real.
How wild do that sound? They're gonna take your head off and you're gonna get a crown. That's so even wild. Just think about it.
You're gonna die for the Savior. He came to save you, but you gotta die for him now.
That's wild.
That's what I'm saying. So when people notice, go on YouTube, ain't no Israelites ever breaking down Revelation. Why? Because they can't.
Right.
They can't do it. Because I know it. I can explain every single verse because I know that's how I know it's their playbook. It's their playbook. And guess what? You've been reading it and they've been making movies like Left Behind, Tribulation and Judgment, and Antichrist movies and Damien. And so guess what? When you see somebody trying to talk about giving you a microchip, man, mark of the beast. I can't take it. I'm gonna starve to death though. Just let them kill me and I get a crown. That's a very effective. Listen, it's a very effective way to rule a people if you can convince them that they can give up their life and go to heaven.
Thanks.
So,
thanks.
And then like
especially if you've been teaching them about the hereafter and they got a home and in the clouds and all that other goofy stuff and they bite it. So
yeah, the afterlife and the heaven and the hell and I read about that movie Sky Daddy JC will appear in the sky. I'm telling you what you see.
Delta Roosh, you right, dog. That's facts, brother.
Yeah.
That is a fact. That's what they're gonna do it.
Yeah. And then they're gonna look at us and say I was wrong and they're gonna bow the knee.
What did the man say was that little joint in the movie was it Independence Day? When the dude was standing there with the book wipe talking about JC is coming, all this crazy.
And what happened?
They came and he got splattered. Nothing.
Ooh, just wiped him out.
Yeah. They said that's Esau letting you know, like, look,
Don't be. That's all fool's gold.
And then,
But he know you're not gonna believe it. That's why he put it in there.
But then also, I don't know if you let you go because I'm gonna go too. And then also, who saved the day in that movie? An Israelite and an Edomite.
They always combo, huh?
Israelite and an Edomite.
Yeah. The enemy of come on, bro.
Of Israel.
Right. Gonna save the day. Just like that, just like Amistad when they fought and took over the ship, and after they had took the pirates over, they was celebrating and praising and dancing and singing, and you heard the people in the back saying Yah, saying they saying Yahweh, but you heard some of them saying Yah. I was like, why wasn't they saying Jay-Z?
Right.
But see, and who was that? Spielberg? They put it in your face, bro.
All
the time. Because they know you're not even gonna deal. The majority of us ain't even gonna hear that. Ain't gonna understand it.
Think about this for a second. What's the point of movies? Don't tell me entertainment, because if it was just entertainment, if they were just entertainment, they wouldn't have such a grip on us, on our childhood. How like everybody know what ET looked like.
The point is, it's just like any other propaganda or programming.
Right.
But what it is you gotta. They'll put truth in it, but they gotta put lies around it.
Yeah.
If you not learned or you ain't got no knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you won't be able to discern what's true and what's not.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Like E.T. E.T. is a family movie, right? Let me tell you, if I walked outside right now and saw E.T., I would football punt the hell out of E.T.
You dang on right.
If you really saw E.T., and you know he can move fast, if you saw E.T. outside,
right,
man, and he's supposed to be just like Harry and the Henderson, Bigfoot. If you went outside and you saw him looking through the window, you'd be like, "What the hell? You going to get the gun?"
Exactly.
But the movie makes you drop your guard. See, you're not afraid of E.T., the movie. But if you went outside and you should get in your car, you look down, and he was standing there, you gonna have some problems.
It's kind of like those people that you see, like they call them what they style of clothes, was they gothic or all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
They always got ghouls and goblins and and so-called whatever on their t-shirts. I said, if you saw something like that in real life, them motherfuckers would drop, they'd pass out and die.
Right.
But they run with it. They put the blood on their face and all that goofy stuff. I said, if you ever seen something like that, man, you would be the first.
Right now, there was one movie called The Strangers. You remember how you look out the window and they just stand out there with a little mask on with their head cocked and stuff like that? If you just saw that outside, you'd be scared as hell. You'd be like, who are these people in my yard with butcher knives, etc.? But like you said, they'll sit there and
they dress like it. Yeah, they dress like it, the fangs and all this crazy stuff. Like they supposed to be so.
You'd be like, what the hell?
I said, but if
you saw that.
Yeah, if one of them type of things came up to them, they'd shit their pants and I'm sorry, excuse my language. They'd mess their pants and die, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's just real. You know.
So yeah, but like I said, I really appreciate y'all brothers. Love y'all brothers. I gotta go to work for 9.
I know that's right, man. Hey man, peace. Y'all bless. Love everybody. And thanks a lot, brother Zach. We appreciate you, man. Y'all bless.
Like I said, we'll try to come back on Saturday or Sunday. I'll let you. We'll call and talk. We'll try to get everybody on as well.
All right.
Y'all will and see. Love you too, brother Delta Rue, Sue, Josh, you, Tim, Leonard, True, the Last Prime. All y'all brothers and sisters. Y'all be safe.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all bless.
All right. God bless. Peace.